What did you do now?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to special supplemental episode of Legion's Cast, the live reaction video of Ashes of Agbendor. Tonight's show, we're going to be watching the YouTube stream live from Four Horsemen as they reveal the secrets of Agbendor. With me tonight, I have my co-host, Emil Wickman.
Thank you for having me as your co-host. I'm honored to be here. Excited.
And we have a special guest tonight, Mr. Billy Beige.
Always a pleasure.
Wow. Awesome to have you here, Billy.
It's great to be here, Emil. Great to be here.
Steven has he had a commitment, but he might show at any moment. Oh, no. Oh, that's
I'm
right.
still here.
I thought that was him showing. It's Billy leaving. No, there he is.
No, the camera's just dumb.
He actually sent a message almost there, and the reveal is starting in less than 3 minutes. That's plenty of time.
I figured 40 seconds would be good for him to come in.
Oh yeah.
So we have 2.5 minutes to go. That's not a lot of time to talk about predictions, but I guess if you're watching this, you have had a lot of predictions beforehand. You know. What about you guys? 2 minutes.
Billy, go ahead. You're our guest. What do you think? 30 seconds wrap.
Small wave, reptile person, whether it's dragon or snake thing, and Basilia version 2, maybe Harris version 2. Hopefully.
Go ahead. You have 2 seconds.
Potatoes.
Yes. I think also small wave version 2s, but I think they're going to be like battlefield versions with like emotional faces of characters, maybe some grimaces, different weapons. And I think at least 3 or to 4 brand new characters we've never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Emil, you go.
Yeah, some brand new characters, but also version 2 of Otto, and a brute scale Asterion.
Oh.
Oh, wait a minute, Asterion. Am I saying the right? Yeah, Asterion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's the one we haven't had yet.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
It's super exciting. Billy, I will say this too, because we have a minute.
Mm-hmm.
The reptile thing is something I didn't really think about, but I agree with you too. I was listening to the Eurolegions guys on when I was on the road yesterday, and they drew some points to why there would be some type of reptilian creatures in this, and I kind of like am thinking the same thing. I think that'd be pretty awesome.
Because I think it was Chris James that pointed out that, like, was it a Fedoron? I don't have the little map with the names and stuff there. Translate somehow to like worm, like WYRM worm or something like that. And I was like, oh, we got that Thraxian. Thraxian? Is it Thraxian? I'm bad with the cosmic names. The Thraxian body with like the mid joint there. I'm like, oh, let's go ahead and get that going. So just get that body type out there. So many different colors. I just love it.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see a lot of reptilians when you say it. You know, now that you mention it, a lot of them.
Reptiles are popular right now. Just saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because what was it? There's a company that's been trying to put one out for like the past like 3 years. They label as a dragon that just started popping up with the painted prototypes and everything, and it looks sick. And I'm like, I got reptile fever.
You got the reptile fever.
I got the reptile fever.
I don't think anyone can cure a fever as well as the Four Horsemen can cure a fever, especially when it comes to doing this. Right? This is if they're going to do it, they're going to give us the best of it.
Yes.
Ashes of Agbendor and more cowbell. Okay, I got it.
Yes.
It's gonna be.
Yeah. All right, we're waiting on them now, folks. Just so you know,
it's not us, it's them. Fashionably on time.
Well, you know, like I told Len, you don't know this, Billy, but I was, laying in a fever with a cough, and it's like, I have to see this.
Corn boy!
Out in South Carolina, just chilling, trying to recoup from the last 6 months of my life. But back in the studio, we have the ever enigmatic Eric Treadaway and the jovial Jeremy Gerard. And in his home, we have Jim Preziosi.
Here I am.
Papa Joe.
Beautiful Ordell, New Jersey.
So we're going to show you guys tonight some characters that have been very, very much fan requested. And we're going to show you a couple of characters that are kind of returning from previous waves.
Revealed.
And we're going to have a few new surprises for you.
Hey,
So
welcome, Steven.
for that, I am going to hand things over to Jeremy. And we appreciate everybody being here. Thank you very much. Ashes of Agbendor.
Thanks, Stevie. Jim, thanks for
I'm
joining
super
us. Jim,
excited.
correct me if I'm wrong. I've heard that you say that this is your favorite wave of Mythic Legions we've ever done. Is that correct?
I believe that I did say that as I was walking out the door today. That's exactly what I said.
Well, with that, we're going to get right to it because we've got a very tight schedule. CB, Jim, stick around. I'm going to take you off screen so we can do this reveal, but thank you for joining us to get this started.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Take it easy. Good luck.
Tight schedule.
Okay,
90 minutes.
Eric,
Mhm.
to us now.
Big wave.
Okay.
We're going
Now
to do
I can
this.
hear what's going on.
Now you can hear what's going on. Yeah, the start of that was in my headphones here because of our audio. So Eric was just listening in silence. That was kind of weird as Cornboy introduced
A
us.
bit awkward, but okay.
So this new wave, Ashes of Agbendor, I jokingly just said this is Jim's favorite wave ever, but it's certainly one of mine. Putting this wave together, it felt like an older wave. And I mean that in the sense of like those waves that had so much variety and just, it wasn't as story driven, but this is story driven. It feels like the best of the old in the new, which is very much a theme about this wave.
Absolutely. And the year as well. But yeah, we talked a lot about some of those older waves like Siege at Bjorngar and, at the time were smaller waves a lot of times, but where we brought together these groups of characters that were from all different parts of mythos and different races and types of characters, but had a story element that brought all those characters together in a cohesive way. And especially for back in those early days, that really pulled the narrative together.
Yeah.
on those waves and gave each one of those characters a lot of purpose.
Yep.
And so this does in many ways feel like a throwback to that, which I think, we're excited about it. I think everybody in the office has been excited about it as well. It's just, there's a lot of, I don't know, like it's got a good vibe to it.
Absolutely. Very good vibe. So
Yeah.
There is a story that is a part of this wave that we're going to talk about. We've teased it already, but what we're going to see tonight is really a mix of some older characters from the first age of the realm. This is a time period that we've alluded to in the stories, but we haven't really seen a lot of. The part, this first major story arc, the Rise of the Dark Four, we're seeing them come back to Mythos. But when they first came to Mythos in that first age, there were a certain series of characters and so forth that were part of that story. So we're going to see some of those, but we're also going to see some characters from our more modern type thing. And you just mentioned that's really a theme for this year. Something old, something new. We just saw that with the mystery boxes, and that permeates through this as well.
Yes. I mean, it's all ties into us reaching our milestones as a company and with, Mythic Legions itself.
Mm-hmm.
We are ourselves doing a lot of looking back and celebrating what's gotten us here to this point, but, never forgetting, that we constantly are striving to move ahead. And,
Absolutely.
In this case, it's the narrative, it's the quality of the toys and everything else. But, it's a nice reflection of what this entire year is encapsulating for us.
Excellent. So with that, let's get this show going. Mythic Legions, Ashes of Agbendor. Throughout tonight's show, we're going to be revealing some new characters. If you've watched one of these shows before, you know what this is all about. We're going to show you the photos. We're going to show you their biographies. We're going to show you the prices. And then at the end, we're going to give you the information for the entire wave, how much the all-in price is, what the pre-order length is, because the pre-order does start tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, which is about the time that this broadcast is set to conclude. So let's talk first about the story here, the Ashes of Agbendor. Now, we shared this already, but it bears repeating here for those that may not have seen it. In the aftermath of the Second Great War, the Legions of Dark have been defeated.
Steven, you excited?
The price paid is a steep one.
Yeah,
Many of the
excited,
realm's
and
greatest heroes have made the ultimate
I'm just
sacrifice. and
curious.
Those who remain are left to
Super
rebuild.
Really think that we're going to see reptilians.
Back in Ophidian, an old wizard.
You think
named
you're gonna see
Shoue
reptilians? What
combs
makes you
through
think
the
that?
charred remains of the
Just
library.
some sort of
As
lizard
Agbendor's
people.
new
Just
master
one.
of
I just need
records
one
can
lizard
now
guy.
salvage the great knowledge that once contained
Yeah.
in the mythic
I gotta kind of
He
agree
also
with them a
begins
little
to
bit
record
too.
Stories of the most recent battles. For those who will rule the mythos of
So,
tomorrow,
no
must
dark
know the
characters. I mean,
heroism and
evil
sacrifice
characters.
that helped win the Second Great War.
Dark Force
which
characters.
ended the rise of the
Only
Dark
good
Order.
characters.
This
You know, it'd be
is
weird
Mythic
if we got like a
Legions,
version
Ashes
2
of Agbendor.
of like a dark
So
character
what we're going to see here are
with that
our
came out
characters
within the past
that
like couple
this,
years.
Master of Records,
Oh.
Shoue, is recording the history that is
Okay, yeah,
already
he's
in the
with Wesley.
library, but he's also recording some of these new stories. So we're kind of jumping narratively to a bit of the end here. We're learning some things. We've learned that at least the Dark Four's plans to destroy the realm of mythos may not have been successful, but we know that the price paid, as it says here, is a steep one. And I'm excited to hear how we got to that point.
Exactly. Yes,
Me
there's
too.
still a lot of story
We
to
all
tell, but this this definitely sets the stage for what we're about to do here with this
Here we
wave.
go.
Reveal
Call it.
number one tonight.
Call it.
This is a character from the
What?
army of Leodicius called the Blue Shield Soldier.
I knew
Now,
it.
we
Finally,
could have
To go with
called
my
this
Red Shield
character
Soldier.
another name. Blue Shield Soldier could have been called the Deluxe Knight Builder 3.
Ooh.
This is a figure that has been heavily requested as a reissue. And that's something that we talked about recently. The idea of like straight all-star style reissues versus new versions of these characters.
Ooh.
Absolutely.
Reminds me of
Yeah,
the
I
old
mean,
one.
That's been
That's the old one, right?
I know.
We're years into this line,
Sorry,
so
I like
it's
it.
been a recurring character type that we've been adding into the line. And this is a very requested piece, but it's a character that we can look at this picture here and see that this is all 1.0 for first wave parts. We've come a long way since then, so rather than doing a reissue, we wanted to revisit this same concept just in an updated way.
Yeah. So this, what you're seeing here, this is that original Deluxe Knight Builder kit from the Covenant of Shadow Wave. As
That's
Eric
exciting.
just said, these are the original Knight parts that were created over a decade ago. This is the original weapons layout from that first Kickstarter. To just reissue this as is wouldn't be us putting out the best that we can do. So instead, we're giving you this. This is the Blue Shield.
Whoa.
This is Deluxe Knight Builder Kit 3. You get an
Ooh.
absolute insane
Holy
amount
moly.
of parts with this set. Let's break this down a little bit because we have some photos here that from Trevor Williams. All the photos tonight, by the way, are from the amazing 1/6 shooter.
Well, I
Trevor
like the
Williams, as
yellow.
always. But we've also got my friend and yours, Joe Vassapolo,
It's a
right
Swedish
on screen
knight.
over there with. There you go.
You're right. It is.
With some
Oh,
photos
yeah.
for a live figure cam view that we
Go
get to
Sweden.
see as well. So
Sweden
this is
and
the
like
build
Wolverines.
of the Blue Shield. This is
Wow.
this figure, Eric, was made very much in the spirit of that
Okay.
original. Obviously, new parts, but the colors and everything. We basically told Joe, give
That
us a
face
new
sculpt.
Knight Builder kit that has the
Wow.
spirit and
I bet
look
that
of the
pops
old
out,
one
too.
with the new parts.
Yeah, I bet it does.
Yeah, I mean, in some ways, the concept of what we did here is just so
Wow.
straightforward and so simple, because we have the parts here where this very much is a total top to bottom redo of that original figure, just similar colors, similar concepts,
Fancy
but so
feathers.
much more than that
Mhm.
original actually was.
A lot of feathers.
And it just,
Or
as
if it's
Joe
like two
was
separate
working
pieces,
on
just
this,
one plug.
like I just kept saying every time I walk in and see this, like to me, when I was a kid, you know, growing up, always looking for a cool knight toy.
Mhm.
This is what was always pictured in my head.
Yep.
This I saw. There were a lot of like miniatures, and you know, you'd see statues or model kits and things like that that kind of had that look, but never really like the action figure that I was looking for. And like this is just, you know, the classic knight right here.
So Joe went crazy. We've got these views, but this is the Knight Builder kit. So the ability to use these parts to create other looks for this figure, the blue shield soldier, is what is core to this set. What you're seeing
So
on screen
we all
right
agree
now
that this is the
are
Swedish knight,
three
right?
different
Just checking with
builds
you guys.
that can be
Absolutely.
achieved from
That can
the
be a
parts
Swedish
in
knight.
this actual set.
Absolutely.
So this figure
I'll go with
comes with
that.
the one base body, but just an absolutely bevy of parts
Look at
with
those.
you know extra heads and armor and weapons and all that. So
Okay.
again, this is what we see right here. Now, let's talk a little bit about the bio, because this is a character from the first
$60.
age of the realm. So
Confirmed.
the Blue Shield Soldier, this deluxe builder set is going to be $60. And these prices are the direct pre-order prices through Four Horsemen that go live tonight at 8:30.
I
There
definitely
are
would
few
pre-order them
stories
direct.
from the First Great War as heroic
Yeah.
or as tragic as that of the Blue Shield. Sworn to Odysseus, the Blue Shield was tasked with guarding the army's rear. Besieged by a horde of goblins, these knights knew they could not keep the flood of evil warriors at bay for long.
You need the soft
The
goods,
Blue
though, right?
Shield
When you look
decided
at
to
that
destroy the
base
tunnels
speed.
from where their enemies were coming, a plan that would also trap them in the collapse. The knights knew this would be their final act, yet none hesitated in their duty. The tunnels were destroyed, ending the threat of the goblin army in a selfless act of sacrifice that is still honored in Leandor today.
Oh,
So these
that's
these are heroic.
dead.
heroic
I love the
bad.
story.
Dad?
He's
And that
dead.
sacrifice, one of
Yeah,
the cool kind of behind the scenes conversations.
There
we
are
had
many
is,
of them. There are many of them. Not
everyone
all Blue
knows
Shield soldiers are
Otho,
dead.
I think they
who's
are.
a very
I think
popular
they all
character.
died in the
He's
tunnel.
second
All
in
of
the
them?
command
Hey,
of
look
the army
look
of
it up there. It
Odysseus.
says race
That is
various.
actually why Otho is the
What's that
one
about?
character in the army of
Interesting.
Odysseus that wears blue.
Yeah, I don't think they're
The
all
second in
dead.
command wears
Yeah,
blue
'cause
in
they come
honor
back
of
as
the
skeletons.
sacrifice of the Blue Shield soldiers.
Yeah,
Because it's a
so this
faceplate,
is
right?
Yeah.
definitely like a cool little bit of,
Oh,
you know, in the past, a builder set would
Mhm.
have been just a builder set.
Yep.
This actually brings a little story and, you know, additional depth to these characters, which, you know, is really cool. It just makes it something more than a kit. You know,
Yep,
it's
I really
now
like that all
like
the
a
new
little
builders
mini
have stories.
faction.
Yep.
And
Mhm.
the fact that
Yeah,
these
that's
characters
nice.
actually then tie into Otho, which is all the way back to Wave 1.
hey, you see Otto's
It's just
colors.
some great synergy going on.
We're
there.
gonna see
I also
him
love
soon.
the figure shown in the center
We'll
here.
see
He's the only one who
Joe
survived.
used those colors actually from the Knight Builder
Those
Kit
soft
2,
goods.
which was a
Long-term.
female knight. So this kind of retroactively
so
makes
cool.
that
He's coming.
look a part of the Blue Shield as well.
Yes.
So that's very cool. The photo here, this is Trevor's what we call environment shot. So this
People are gonna buy
shows
a
these
number of
Blue
these
Shield
and I'll do in
soldiers
the center.
engaged probably in that
yeah.
battle with the goblins to collapse those tunnels. We're talking a lot about Joe. Let's actually go. Let's remove
Which
this for a
knight am I
second.
looking at here?
Let's
Emil?
go to
Is
the
that,
Joe
is
cam.
that the
So
All
Joe,
of them. Or the
What are we
Swedish
no,
looking
knight.
at
but
over
like
here?
what's the body? Is it a
So,
red
yeah,
shield?
Like you said, we wanted this set
No.
to be a
No,
tribute
it's the
to
Is it
new
Valiant?
Valiant Knight.
first and
Nice.
second
That's
Knight
awesome.
sets. So our first representation that we put together here, as I know
Not one.
everything before, is if we look at the helmet here.
Ooh.
Oh, I see. So yeah, they pulled it in. Yeah, that's cool.
So that's our original helmet. With the knight,
Joe's big on keeping them colors
dragon
going.
ornament on top. Here's our new helmet.
I still love the
Dragon
original
wings.
helmets also.
Mhm.
Yeah, I do too.
So what I just try to do is replicate the spirit of the look. We have the new belts and leather there and the strap. Something we haven't seen too often. That's going to start coming in the Necro Wave. As far as the Builder 2 set,
I've always loved that set. I like the colors on that. I always like
can you
that.
speak up?
there you go.
Yeah, it's not big.
Speak up a little bit.
Okay, I just didn't want to yell, but here we are. So yes, this is the basically the male version of the 2.0 Night Builder set.
Oh, that
Pay a little
2.0
homage to
Night
that
Elder set's going to be
because,
hard to
I
find.
may
now.
actually like this one a bit more than the first.
I think it already
Billy,
was,
get on
wasn't
eBay
it?
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Threw these parts in. These
And I
are not
repainted
soft
like
goods.
a couple of
This
those
is
like
the
way
plastic
early.
original tunic painted over. But yeah, I can't help but point out that this comes with so many different heads. We have the ones from the Night Builder, the Valiant Knight.
Cool.
Again, this type of helmet was in the second Night Builder set.
I like that
So that
lighter
is our
metallic.
1.0 version.
Yeah, it is a
Size
little
stuff.
lighter, right?
And we get to see this again.
Not
like,
Wayne.
sort
Really
of
excited
vein,
for
yeah.
This kind of jousting helm with the feathers, and inside we have a new face,
Hello, Swedish man.
and that should be swappable between helmets.
I think that's
That's the
you.
plan.
What an
So if you have a
upstanding
couple of
Swedish
these, you
knight.
can put it into any other character that has this helmet type.
It has the same expression as Emil.
Switch off the
It
visors
is.
too.
It is Emil. It
And
totally
just
is.
a quick thing I'd like to go over.
I'm
I know
stirring.
I was
I'm gonna fight
curious.
Goblin.
I know
No.
people are going to say, how close are these parts to other figures coming out? So just a quick reference.
Mm-hmm.
There's none of a Dalric
What?
on our new knight, so that should go over well. The silvers
That's
are
not-
very close.
And look, he's dead.
And as for Enoch, this is one of his helmets. It's a slightly duller color, but you switch it around, it should go well. And one part I do not have
The
on these guys
Templar
is
Ogres.
what is underneath the fabric. So this is the chest plate that you'll have underneath. Has a bit more detail than ones we've released before, but again, that is a tribute to the first Night Builder set that came out.
Is that the
So
new one?
there's a
No,
lot of distinctive looks that
Yeah.
you can get out of this one set, and all of your extra parts.
Oh,
can be
they're
put on
mixing
other
the
knights that are
old
in
knights
upcoming
and new
waves,
knights
Necronominus, and All Star 6.
Awesome. Joe, you got to save some for the pop and shop swap show that we're going to do.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. So
That female
again,
knight
that is
sold
the
last for
first of the
$165.
reveals. Eric, you ready to
Yeah.
move on to the
Okay.
next
I
one?
remember a
Let's
couple
do
years
it.
ago that was
Okay,
a
we
peg
have a
warmer
schedule
at
to keep
shows.
here. Reveal number 2.
Here we go.
Ooh, moving right into
There we
No.
go. So we saw
It's
this
not.
a lot last
I
year.
think I
It's
hear
not coming out.
Anthony's
This won't be out
really
this year, so
And
it
I mean,
doesn't
let's
matter.
be honest, we were really good to the dwarf.
It's always the
fans
year of the
last
dwarf
year.
then if it comes out every
Yeah, we had
year.
a lot of fun. with it.
Yeah.
We had a fun, but Year of the Dwarf feels so 2023. This is 2024. I don't think this is the Year of the Dwarf. I think that there's another group from under the Grey Vein Mountains that is ready to have their
almost
time.
gonna not
This
like that.
is the Year of the Goblins, starting, of course, with the 1,000 swigs that are out there in the realm of mythos causing havoc. I feel like they had something to do with this next reveal.
Let's see it.
So, in Rising Suns, we did a dwarf 2-pack that we called the Exiles from Under the Mountain. Here in Mythic Legions, Ashes of Agbendor,
Kit.
we have a Goblin
Goblin
2-pack that is called the Malignancy of Gob.
Oh, they got
I
a show
I
out.
like
the
this.
Malignancy. That name is specifically a nod
I like
to
it, and I haven't
the
even seen it.
Goblin subgroup,
I
the
know.
Goblin fan subgroup of the Cabal that is really focused on the Goblin.
I hope
so
this
this
is
is
a-
a
I hope
fun
Mark's
nod to
name is
them
in
because
this.
I think they're going to
Oh, I
love
hope so too. And I
this
hope he just
attention
like,
to the
oh,
Goblin.
he's gonna explode.
There's a lot of
The
goblins
brother
out here.
battle.
So this again is a
Whoa,
Goblin
look at
2-pack.
that.
and here
Goblin,
are
big
two
Goblin.
of the looks
That's the
that
one
you
on
can
the
get
package.
out of this.
Yes.
So
Oh,
Eric,
you're right. That's the last one on the package.
these use some brand new parts. Talk to us a little bit about these builds and what we're seeing for brand new
Ooh,
parts.
I really like both of those.
Yeah, those
The
bare
heads
arms
most
have where
certainly
they're
are
actually kind of a
brand
little
new
jacked.
Yep.
on both of these, which
And
um,
thighs. I see them.
you know
Thighs.
it's exciting to get these out. These were actually teased on some packaging
Yeah.
a while back. So we've been ready to unleash these guys for a while, and
Big nose.
really
Both were on
with
the
both of
package.
these heads, it was a matter of having access to the right parts combinations to really fit the characters, and
That new bear
we're to
upper
that
low,
point now.
legs.
That really allowed us to
Where is
move
that
forward
from?
with this.
Not from the Grey
you know,
Dwarf?
we figured
No, they're
let's do
longer.
them both at once.
Yeah.
Let's go
So these would have to
all
be
in on
shorter.
the goblins here. So as I said, the heads are both new on these. In this particular build here on the hooded goblin, we're seeing, I can't remember if we've used them at all or not, but they're new goblin bear thighs.
Yep, brand new.
And then
Nice.
the upper arms and like down to the gauntlets are new 2.0, like again bear, like unarmored arms.
Love it.
Similar
cool.
to the IS
love
look,
the
but
cape.
in
Little dirty
more,
dirty
less
sack
alien
cape.
proportion.
Yeah, it fits with the hood.
This is one set of builds.
what Swing
This is
needed.
another set of builds you can get with this. So
Okay,
you can
that's-
see that the
Oh, that-
1.0 goblin, we
okay.
swapped in
Who's
some
that
upper
guy?
arms there. Those are actually the upper
We
arms.
can-
Billy,
they
that looks
were-
like you.
Is this originally?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Put
we've
glasses
seen them
on that
already,
one.
yeah,
Yep.
as well.
Yep. So we've got that, and then we've got the what we've seen as that 2.0 goblin with the armored arms. The fact that it comes with both the bear arms and the armored arms, and these are two heads that we've seen before, but repainted and presented slightly differently to create these characters. And all in all, this is what you're going to get. So this is
Wow.
the two figures, all of the
That's
different
stacked
parts that you
set.
get here. As you can see,
Okay.
4 different heads,
That new
2
waist
sets
piece.
of upper arms,
purple
one
on
both
the
of them additional, upper
Kind of purplish
legs
one.
for the 2.0 goblin.
The purple
As
one
we
on the
said,
back.
a
new,
really
yeah.
nice build out that are going to allow the goblin
Like
lovers
how the
to
shield looks
build
like
out these characters.
half stained.
Yeah, like that was one of the things with the
Yeah, why is-
goblins. Like we came out very strong
wonder
with
what's
the
going on with that.
goblins, and then
Hmm.
there was a point
Purple
where
shoes.
we had to slow down because the variety of parts that we could
Mhm.
put into these builds was just becoming a little bit limited. But here, we're seeing 2 different styles of bear arms. The
The
first
bear
time we're
arms and
seeing,
legs.
these
Those are the
bear
gems in this
leg
pack to me.
parts on these characters. 2 different
Bear arms,
sizes
that's
of
awesome.
bear hands. Where up to a point they were armored hands on
Yeah.
all the
Egg,
goblin characters,
Swivel in it.
and then some of these newer parts like
Which one?
the boots on the larger
big on the-
goblin and
big guy.
the skirt piece that goes with that figure. So it's and just some parts that we haven't used on goblins
Yeah.
as well in the
Yep.
mix that we've seen around for a while. So it's great because it just, if you're a goblin fan, you're going to be able to, you could double or triple your goblin army with this
Yep.
Big Goblin
without
fan, Billy?
a lot of repetition at all.
Absolutely.
Really?
So let's read the
So what now?
story here
Big
and talk
Goblin
about
fan?
this
Oh,
set. This
sorry,
is a
now we're
2-pack set,
getting
like the
by.
dwarf set. This is going to be
$75.
$75. You get the 2 figures.
Yeah, because it's 2 figures.
One of the
right?
most enduring stories of the First Great War is the sacrifice of the Blue Shield and their defeat of the
nice.
Goblin army. What few realize about this story, however, is that the goblins who were trapped under the Grey Vein Mountains did not die when the tunnels collapsed. Able to see in even the darkest depths, the goblins crawled out from under the rubble and made their way deeper under the mountain. Here they found the vast cavern that would become the city of Gob Hollow. Allowed to fester in the darkness, this malignancy would grow for ages until the goblins rose once again to answer the call of Erether and fight in his fiery legion.
Nice.
That's an awesome story.
Now, we do have a environment photo to share, but couldn't help ourselves. These are meant to be builder characters. They're not really like with the dwarf set. They're not named characters. But when we did the dwarf set, we actually threw some fun names from the dwarf community in that bio for these characters. So officially, these are the names of these builds.
I can't see either.
This is Dobin. This
Okay.
is Mock, which is really just the way that I say Mark with my Rhode Island accent.
Mac.
Curb or Kirby, and Patter. So these are some fun characters named after 4 very wonderful legionnaires who are goblin lovers through and through and who really help make that malignancy subgroup what it is.
Wow, that's cool.
Here's the photo. We'll call this
Wow.
the discovery
funny.
of Gob Hollow. So,
I love
Joe,
that
we're
pigment.
actually running.
Some big
really
men are
well on
sitting
time.
crying right
We
now.
are very close to where we need to
Anthony's
be
like,
for
what
this,
the
but
hell?
We have to go to the Joe cam real
Oh, yeah.
quick over here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go to the Joe cam and I'm going to focus you. Talk us through a minute or two of what we've got here.
I just got to point out this makes a great dwarf body, so now we got that out. Yeah, there's a lot of great builds in here. A little close up of the arm set there. We might have used these legs on up top. I'm not sure the upper legs here. But we get another, we get another Shoue the Thief there. So 2.0 feet. We have the new leather boot
This is the
style,
same size?
and that's you get two
Ooh,
sets
I
of
like
feet.
those boots.
You
I
get
like those
all
boots a
different
lot.
kinds of sets
It's
of
cool to get
the
a
bare
different set of
hands, which
2.0.
I'm happy to see. And these guys, these are a lot of fun. Should look familiar to quite a few people out there. But just having another set of arms that are skinnier with a smaller head really gives a whole other kind of look to having such a big kind of brutish goblin guy, which is
big,
a skinny guy
pig
with a lot
nose
of
guy.
armor. Lots of potential.
So many options for
Every figure's
goblins
gonna
now. It's
come
like,
with
hey, they can have a
2
pig
neck
nose. They can have
heads,
any kind of
so you'll be
nose.
able to switch between 1.0
Those
heads and 2.0
are
heads.
new boots, or is that from the
This
dwarf
is a
pack?
1.0 socket on these two guys and a 2.0 socket on
So
those
the
two.
lower-
So if you want to put his head on that, you can. Tons of variety, tons of
I think
options.
it's the normal.
You're going to have parts left
dwarf,
over, and you're going to be
like,
able to really
shin.
reuse some of those older
Yeah.
The actual boot part, the bottom part around the feet.
So this sets a lot
They
of fun.
should be the same, like
Looking
the 1.0
Awesome.
boot for that one.
Joe, thank you very much for
Hi,
that
Jeremy.
breakdown of that.
Okay.
That's so cool.
We're on a fast pace tonight. We've got a lot to get through. We're not slowing down at all. So let's get to reveal number 3.
Oh, I know it's
Do
going
it.
to be.
So
Who knows?
we've already seen a knight set and a goblin set, 2 races that are prominent in
It's not
Mythos,
going to be another
but
set.
we've
No way.
races that we've also released a number of characters. We've done a lot of goblins. We've certainly done a lot of knights. There was a number
Are
of
they gonna
other
make it
types
dwarf?
of characters and races in Mythos that we've wanted to get back to for a while, and I suggest that this is one of them.
What is it?
Yeah. That's. I
Is
mean,
it-
that's
is it
for
fuzz
us,
mug?
that's
Gotta be a
fun
fuzz mug.
element of this.
You
Is
think?
that
Maybe.
we've kind of said it like with the dwarves last year. There's like we'll come out with a certain type of character, and then the longer it's they don't return, then that excitement builds up about bringing a character type
Steven,
back.
what
And
is it?
so
What could it be?
It's a Fury dwarf.
Yes, guys.
I guess
Fury.
it's that absence makes the heart grow fonder type
Fury
of thing. And so
dwarf.
we got a couple of those in here.
And this is a race that I've seen people ask for, but not so much lately. So it's
Oh,
time
what
to
is it?
surprise them.
Maybe
with
it's
this.
fuzz mug.
This character is named Yosef of the Golden Spear, and
This is a
this
bird?
is an angel from
Oh,
the
oh,
celestial
oh.
city of Cirrus. So this is a character
An
from
angel.
the Order of Aetheron, and this is another one of the first age characters.
Yosef.
So let's look at the turns for this. So
Whoa.
Whoa.
this is one of the builds. This is a really cool kind of pearlescent type armor. Joe's going to show us in a few minutes a little bit of a different pearlescent here. I should
not
point out,
matching
by the way, that
Gadriel
when
exactly.
we started putting this figure together, one of the first things I thought
it
is,
doesn't,
who's
right?
going to love
Does it?
this figure?
It might be
Joe
different.
Russo. One of the mythic enablers. I knew he
But I
would
agree
love
with you.
this. So Yosef is actually a Slavic pronunciation of Joseph. So this is kind of a fun little nod to our good friend, our mythic enabler, Joe Russo. You get to be the angel that you are, sir.
That's
Really cool
God.
build out here.
His head's
You
gonna
see
be
this uses
so big
those
now.
wings that
Yeah.
were used on a number
But
of
not out of
different
scale with
figures,
his
but
body.
we haven't seen in a
No.
little while. We got an alternate look for this as well. We were trying to think what other types of heads could we include with this, and the Mercurian helmets are always popular.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
for this shot, Trevor removed the wings. For someone that wants to build out their Mercurian ranks, I love how this almost looks like a Mercurian honor guard type character.
Yeah. I think, you mentioned the iridescence on this. I think this one has the potential to be like Sir Ignatius was in the first wave, or or Orn. Like it's got that kind of iridescence that you almost can't really see it until you have it in hand, because the way it catches the light and moves with it. And it is, we've used this general color palette a few times for these kind of more holy warriors, where Gadriel had it in the Advent wave. The Sir Uxak has a similar type scheme, and now this Yosef character. But it's cool because the iridescence on all of these they're all slightly different tones of white. So even though they look very uniform in a way. There's slight variations that really give them their own individuality and character.
So translation, Eric just said that this is a figure that people are going to be like Sir Ignatius and Gadriel. They were sleeper figures. They were figures that people said, I don't need that one. And then when they saw it in hand, they went gaga for it, and they had to pick it up. Do not sleep on this one. This is the loadout you get here. Like we've been doing with a lot of these figures. And we should point out, by the way, that both that blue shield that we showed at the start, this character here, these do use the new night bodies.
The paint job they have on it makes them look
that we introduced in
very
the
pale and evil
wave, and we saw on the Valiant Knight. So you're going to get that type of
for
movement out of these figures along with this full build.
I don't know. It's interesting.
Let's read this character's bio. Again, this is another First Age character. This is an angel character. And actually, before we read the bio, it's worth pointing out this is a deluxe figure. But we've actually lowered the price. So this is going to be a $40 figure. Ooh. In the past, deluxe figures like Varg or even the Dark 4 characters, they were $45 figures at that deluxe price point. We wanted to do another thank you to the fans. What better way to do that than with a character like this? So we've actually lowered the price to $40 for this deluxe figure.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I mean, it's any chance that we get to put a price break in like that, or try to go back to like throwback pricing almost. Like it's something that we like to do, and with all the support that we got on the line, like this is a great example of
$40 including wings.
Absolutely. So the bio for this character, a hero from the First Age of Mythos, Yosef of the Golden Spear led a battalion of angelic warriors from the celestial city of Sirius to fight in the First Great War. Tragically, their mission was a doomed one, and only Yosef survived an encounter with Maxilius the Harvester. The angels fought valiantly, but they were each cut down by the Harvester and raised from death by the unholy magic of Necronominus. Still, Yosef did not surrender, and he proved instrumental to the victory of the First Great War. Returning to Sirius alone, it would be ages before another of his kind would leave the angelic city to fight in the battles of Mythos. So we've got a little bit of a teaser there about another angel that we just talked about, Gadriel. We know from her bio that she's part of the modern story. She's someone who followed in the kind of footsteps and in the the tradition of this character here to come and help the realm of Mythos with the evil that was rising.
Yeah, and explain why we never see him after Gadriel for a while
with the dwellers of Mythos. So this gives a little more insight into that, and things that that were alluded to all the way back in Gadriel's bio.
We are going to go to the Joe cam right now. Joe, what are we looking at?
It's the Joe cam.
Joe cam. This helmet on the body with the wings. Love the paintwork that went into this. Like we said, it's one of the more popular helmets that we have, so it's good to get it out there again. The magic running around this spear. It's got a nice iridescent gold tinge to it. So lots of new colors, experimentation there. And I know people are going to ask, so this is the difference in armor color. If you want to take a screenshot of that, this looks a little more on the yellow side. There's actually a little hint of green on him. So yeah,
I can kind of
see it unless you put it next to the other one. But again, it's another nice distinctive look. And let's give this a swap around here.
I guess it kind of gives it like a mintier, cooler.
So you can swap them out.
Definitely.
And there's the handsome fellow underneath.
I don't think he looks evil.
So we're looking good there. Another use of the Zydlernian guard helmet. Always happy to
maybe
see
a little
that.
Stuck up.
Oh yeah, looking forward to this guy, and we'll be able to add between three different heads. Three different angel character looks from one character.
I don't know.
So it's good to see that again.
And $40, no?
Even so, without the mask.
With the wings and everything. I mean,
honestly, that's a pretty cool look there too.
So, get two of them. Put the wings on Sir Ignatius.
Lots of fun.
It's a lot of paint.
Excellent, Joe. Thank you so much. We're going to move forward on this.
Moving forward.
Not a lot of time to linger.
Not a lot
gotta
of
be a
time.
skeleton
Not a lot of
angel.
time. We might have wanted to give ourselves a little bit more time
already?
there.
I don't know.
I feel like
but
it's
okay. We
paired
want to
in
get
that
this all
way,
out
where it's like
to
you know,
you
blue
'cause
shield
we
shoulder.
are so excited. We've been
Goblin,
bursting
talk
with
about them
energy
falling
to
with the
share
angels.
this with everybody
Maybe.
since this wave started getting worked on, and we're at reveal 4. This is another version 2 type character. So when we did that show a couple weeks ago, we talked about one of the nice things about doing more version 2s is we can do characters that are maybe not as critically important to the story. Like previously we did, Gideon Heavensbrand and Attila Leosair and Gorgor Etherblade, doing characters that are not necessarily major players, or like we just saw with the Knight kit, that
Lord
are more
Bashadi
builder type
2.0.
characters is a fun addition,
Ragnar
and that's what
2.0.
we're going to see here. We're going to
Well,
see
yeah, I think a
my
Ragnar
favorite
2.0.
figure, Gold Skeleton 2.
What?
So Gold Skeleton,
It is gonna have
Legion Builder
wings.
from the
All right, who
first
saw that
Legion
coming?
wave is
I
one
did
of the
not.
hardest
Did
figures
not.
to find.
I have not seen anyone
think-
get for that.
I think I kind of called the skeleton part, not the gold part, though.
My favorite figure
But it makes
in the
sense if
line.
it's
I
a
don't know
fallen
if that's
angel.
true,
That's why it's a
but it
golden
is
skeleton.
definitely the
You think?
answer I have prepared. And
Angels-
you'd like
Angels'
to chide me
bones are
about
gold,
that,
apparently,
threatening
in
that we're going
Mythos.
to do Gold Skeleton 2. So we did Gold Skeleton 2. Let's look at this. This is the build we're going to get. And like that first Knight figure, this is very much taking the new parts. This is new armor and the new skeleton parts to do a new version, an updated version of the skeleton, the gold skeleton.
Yeah, I mean, I've always liked the gold skeleton. I like just in general the doing the variety of colors on the skeletons. I don't know.
I need him standing straight up.
And so this is a great update because I mean this is really utilizing the upgrades that we've done in the past couple of years, and specifically the Necronominus wave, because you've got the combination here of updated skeleton parts and the updated armor parts, which all come together for a fully updated new figure.
Well, speaking of updated, I think the problem I've always had with the gold skeleton is why does this skeleton have golden bones? I think that is the reason that I could never get into it. So we had these discussions and we said, why does these skeletons have golden bones? What kind of character would have golden bones? And the answer we came up with, if you remember that bio that we just read about those fallen angels from Cirrus, those defeated angels that were raised by Necronominus, angels
Drop
could
the
have
mic,
golden
Billy.
bones.
Just
So
leave right
this
now.
is not
Just leave
only a version
the broadcast.
Hats off, man.
the gold
Hats off.
skeleton, but we've done a
No one will
serious
believe
upgrade
that I guessed
to
that.
actually
No
create
one.
what you see here.
Oh,
This is a character that this is one
okay.
of those angelic warriors from the first age
Okay,
that was
so-
cut down by Maxilius the Harvester
Damn you,
and
Billy.
re-brought
Those
back
feet.
to life.
Those
or
sexy feet.
unlife
Look at them gold
by
feet.
Necronomicon.
Oh,
So you
I
get
never thought
not
I'd say that
only
about a gold
that
skeleton,
kind of
but this is my
classic
favorite
gold
so far
skeleton
today.
build, but you get the
that
parts
first
to
pick of
create
him just
this
looked down. I was like,
as
oh,
well.
kind of weak. But then
Look at those
this,
Yeah, this thing.
Oh, you know who I'm putting those
It's
wings
cool.
on.
Yeah, I could guess.
I would have been perfectly happy
Ooh.
with just the gold skeleton
Yeah.
update, but this certainly takes it to the next
Oh,
level.
yeah. it's got that slight
it does
green
make-
to him.
Again, going back, like that was back, there were no
Yeah.
bios on the Legion builders at the time, so there's really no story behind it. But here, we bring a story to this type of character, which really integrates well into what we're telling with the overall story and just with other characters in the wave.
I didn't like the gold
And,
skeleton until now.
Now I love 'em.
It's something very unique in the line now.
Like he's got the sash
And
too.
I saw somebody on there ask
It
if
could
the
also be
wings
the
are
build,
translucent. Yes,
overall build.
they are.
So maybe
This
I don't
was,
like gold skeletons anyway.
Joe actually
You just like bear
painted
skeleton
this,
feet.
and
Yeah, I like
we
them.
went through a lot of
Like them
iterations
gold
on this,
toes.
these wings. But Joe kind of had this concept of these where the wings are corrupted, basically, and
That's cool.
this idea of kind of this green glow on them.
Get
and
those green
it's-
limbs ready to
it's cool
swap
because
out.
it looks like more toward the top of the wings, it's more golden, and it's almost like
Poison
as they're being more
angel.
corrupted and drained of their essence as they move toward the tip. So it's a really unique take on these wings, and just a very dramatic
Great,
look for this
Soft,
character.
good loin piece to use.
So this
as
is the
well.
build out we get. As you can see, you get
Oh, come
both
on.
the
Look at those
armored hands
weapons.
and feet,
Oh
so
my
kind of that classic
goodness.
You know who they're
and
for.
the skeletal hands
Yeah,
and feet
yeah.
that we just showed there. You get that normal skeleton head as well as
They're
that
kind of perfect
skeleton
for him.
helmeted head with the two different faceplates.
Even the
It's very
shield
much
has
indicative
purple
of the angel we just
green
saw
on it.
because this character
Yeah,
is
it's gonna
meant to
look
be
awesome with
from
purple.
that
Or
army. Yeah. This is another
do.
deluxe
There you
edition,
go.
just like we did for Yosef. This is going to be that lower price point of $40 for this deluxe figure. Of course, this character is an undead angel. And the bio for this character is casualties of the First Great War. These defeated angelic warriors of Cirrus were cut down Maxilius the Harvester and then resurrected by the magic of Necronominus. These undead angels became some of Necronominus's most powerful followers, and many were banished with him when the Dark Four were defeated by the great beasts. Immediately distinguishable by their golden bones, these fallen angels still possess their feathered wings as a cruel mockery of the celestial beings they once were.
Oh, I love
Diego
it.
actually came up with a really cool kind of like side story that the ones without the wings were the ones that weren't banished with, Necronominus. They've been in mythos all this time, and over the years their wings have kind of fallen off as they get further and further away from their original origin.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Great
I
job
like
with the
that a lot.
bios. Great
Yeah.
job.
So, Joe,
Mhm.
we're going to go to you
Good
right now.
job
Let me
again,
get to the
Billy.
Joe
Yeah.
cam.
Impressed.
Building
What do we got?
these into the story, and
Like
that
we
was
said, our
impressive.
goal was originally
I-
to do an update.
It,
of
it
the
just makes
original
sense and it's fun.
Gold Skeleton
If it's
Malignancy
fun, it
Ogre.
seems like they do it.
But
Yeah.
just bump it up a bit with new parts,
But look
new
at those
armor.
new belts as well.
A lot of attention to detail involved with this. Bone color's the same, armor's a little different, but that's okay.
Don't
But,
even
yeah,
need
look
that
at
original
one
gold
bit
skeleton
better.
at all.
So two distinctive looks from this. You have basically the tribute to the original
I think it kind
You
of
think
makes you
there will
need
be a
to
lo-
want him more.
and this guy. We're utilizing the Xylurnian Guard
So
faceplate
you think there will be a
on
lot of people
the
selling their
Skeleton
gold
Legion, the
skeletons?
deluxe
Oh,
Skeleton
definitely,
Legion
Go
over
up
on
now,
this,
or
so
go
that
down
works out
now,
well.
or
And just to point out the wings here, there is a
I
little
think
bit
someone
of
will try to sell it for
some
like
gold in there. They are translucent
$100
depending
or
on the
so,
light. Will
probably.
shift,
But I think if someone's really trying to get rid of
which
it,
is a neat effect. And yes,
eh,
they will be translucent. Glow? No, probably not. Just want to put that out there. And again, our soft goods, all bendy. Got a little skirt. Got our scarf. And even the weapons have become corrupted. You see that green kind of leaching into the gold there. So we know something went wrong with these guys. And that we have skeletal feet and hands, a set of those, and a set of armored feet and hands. Two very distinctive looks again from one character.
those
Absolutely.
in
Thank
your
you, Joe, for that.
they look really good on the skeletons.
So I
Actually,
saw in the comments here about, are we going to see a Maxilius the Harvester? Maxilius was actually revealed in the Necronominus wave. So it's fun to tie in these stories with characters that we've seen before,
$40
that we're
for a
bringing back,
scaphoid accessory
kinda
kit.
talking about
Yeah.
some of
Take a
these
case of
story
them.
elements. And we've seen, as you could probably figure it out, that these figures go together. So the blue shield went with the malignancy of Gob Hollow.
I think it's kind of
Yosef
crazy.
went with
people
the
are,
gold
are
skeleton.
asking, like, when are we going to
Those
see
are some
Maxilius the
figures from
Harvester?
the
It's like,
first ages
guys,
as
we've
well.
had so much stuff
But
come out.
we
He's
talked
he's
about
coming.
looking backwards and looking to our
Are
modern
they asking
time.
that in the
We're going
chat?
to
Why
now
would
look
they?
at some characters from
That's
more
what
of the
Jeremy said. He
modern
was like,
part
when are we
of
going
the
to see him? It's like, dude, he's like,
Now, this
Two
one,
waves
as
back.
soon as we
Yeah.
advance this and you see
Three.
the name of this character, it's going to create an image in people's heads.
boy.
And I
Here we go.
love the sub races that we do within Mythic Legions.
Fury
this is
something.
a cool sub race. This is actually a frost ogre.
what?
So the
Ooh, I
photo
like
that we're
this
about
already.
to show you, the environment shot we're gonna bring up.
Cool.
This is the
I love
first
snow.
shot that Trevor
I love
took for
Cold
this wave.
figures.
One of
Yeah.
my
I like
favorites.
blue. I
He
like blue
loves those
raspberry.
winter type shots, and I really think this one just captures
Yes.
the coolness of that frost
Cool.
ogre. Like, look
Yes.
at this absolute beast of a character.
Just like a pure fantasy.
Oh,
You
Mm-hmm.
know, it just, the winter scene, the fur, a giant
Yep.
armored beast. Like it
Oh,
just
man.
everything about it just
Can't wait to
screams like
have-
high fantasy.
it does.
Atlas is bear
And
fighting
it's
him.
just
Yup.
such a cool looking
Yeah.
looking character.
So
those
these are
Red Eye.
parts that already exist in the line. In this wave, you're going to see some new things in this wave. We saw those new heads and those new parts on the goblins. This wave are parts that have been tooled already. This is a wave we've done a lot of waves, Necronominus, All-Star 6, Rising Suns, that have a lot of new tooling. We want to mix that up with waves like this that utilize some of that tooling so there can be, faster production times on that. We're always trying to push that. So I love that challenge. I love new parts. Don't get me wrong. I know you love new parts. I love new, innovative, exciting ways to present these parts. And that's what we're seeing here. Looking at this photo, I know this is an ogre build, but he looks so bulked up with those furs on.
Yeah, it's looking at these familiar parts, especially, this is Kurzog's head. This is the first ogre head that was really even sculpted for this body. And to see it so redefined here with the paint, I don't like, the head's pretty small in these shots, but like especially when you get in, in close to the face, like, it's some of the subtle variations in tones and colors on it. We'll get more into the decision on this head here in a second, but no, this was not initially the head that was going to be like the main head on this figure, but we love the paint on it so much. This became like the standard head for this figure.
It did. So this is what the character looks like without those furs on. That's totally removable. To your point that this head wasn't the original head. The original head was actually this one. We painted them both up to see which one we liked best. And in true Four Horsemen fashion, we decided to give you both of them.
And we get the shoulder pad too.
This is essentially an ogre
double
with almost like an ogre.
It looks like double
accessory pack included, because not only do you get both heads, 2 sets of helmet attachments, the removable helmet, you get 2 lower arm.
Good at giving extra stuff.
Those slip-ons, you get the actual
good at making you want to buy 2 of them.
You get the shoulder armor, and you
I wonder
get
how close
2
it'll
of the
be to
straps.
the ice
I love how it looks with both of the straps across the chest. Plus, of course, those soft goods.
Yeah, this one also has a very bulky, kind of squarish look. With just that combination of the pauldrons and the wide horns on the head, the double straps.
So far, all of these releases kind of go together. Like this, like the next one should be
if
something
that other
that
head
goes
was
with
never
this.
painted, I think everybody would be perfectly happy with this release. But there was just something
ogre
about that other one. It just had a haunting.
Or is it going to be good ice people?
I mean, these 2
are we going to see male?
Male, if you're setting up your display, these could easily be 2 different.
We have a Frostfell.
This one's
I wonder if we'll get a male version
in appearance, whereas the other one's more Frost Ogre.
That'd be cool.
So this again is an ogre scale figure, which means it's going to stand about like 9 inches tall. That's about what they come in at. It's going to be $65. And the bio for this character is savage brutes who dwell in the harsh colds on the borders of the white spine. Frost ogres are often enlisted by Alithia's brood to act as guardians of the vampire's fortress, the Bloodless Throne. Hiding amidst the snow and ice, frost ogres will ambush any travelers who are foolish enough to venture into their lands, dragging them back to their icy lairs to an end too terrible to contemplate. You do not want to encounter these guys in the cold.
So they're not vampires. They're not undead in that sense.
No,
but they're cold.
I like that. Just kind of the.
And maybe they'll treat you like a wampa.
The ice trolls and frost ogres and some of these horrors of the northern realms that it sets this very like unpredictable kind of atmosphere up there. And I thought aligning these guys with the vampires was a really interesting and cool combination of character types.
They've never really defined that, like, hey, Joe, vampires are only
picking up some time here. We're doing better, so I'm gonna give you a minute. Go ahead.
They're only
you got solo layout. What are we looking at?
All right.
Wow.
So yes, 2 again very distinctive looks with these guys. This is the second use of the Archimedes headpiece, but just a shot without it. It's looking pretty cool. Again, a repaint of this. It's nice to get another use out of that. So that's a lot of fun.
It's a really good helmet.
There's a variation soft good that's on this. That's just the whole place for tonight. But the real colors we're looking at are on this guy, not to cause any confusion there. Also comes with another set of horns. So this is another look we can have. Those are very cool. And again, you have the arm wraps and the armored forearms. Those can get swapped out. Comes with both. So even within these two, there will be a couple extra parts for your other ogres. This would look good on plenty of the other figures, which we'll show at another time. But yeah, I'm very excited for this.
Another
Excellent.
time.
Thank you very much, Joe.
Reveal.
And thank you very much for everyone who is tuning in so far tonight. I know there's a number of people out there that are doing kind of like watch parties. They're having some Mythic pizza and so forth. Thank you to everyone that is out there doing that. There's also going to be some people after this that are doing some recap shows. I know Offworld is going to be doing a recap show. So if we're done and you still need more Mythic goodness, definitely check some of those out because I know there's going to be some cool stuff out there as well. Speaking of cool stuff, are you ready to show them the coolest figure in this entire wave?
Cool.
Is it icy?
You are. Okay. This is my favorite figure in the wave. This is something that
red.
I think a number of people are excited for a few different reasons. This is a character from the Xylon stock. The character's name is Kacha. And this character is a classic-looking thief, like a rogue character. And not only is it a rogue character, I do love my classic D&D thieves, but it is a Jaguar.
And now we finally get a black cape, my friend.
It is a Jaguar.
Oh, nice.
I swear to you, I did not intentionally make this a cat burglar. That is totally something I would do, but I didn't realize it until after that we had created a cat burglar. But
Jeremy can't fight his
I'm
DNA.
just gonna throw that out there. I had to address that so someone else didn't say it. We are aware of how silly that is.
Yeah, it would have been on here.
It would have been on there in moments.
Yeah.
But
swap chest.
I love this build here in all seriousness. I do love the critter characters, the Jagualians. I love a lot.
It's really good.
I love that this is
We need an open up
it's the most realistic one we've done since the original Jagualian.
It's a jackpot of parts, though.
Yeah,
it
is. It's amazing to just how much it's transformed this head. It looks
accessory thingy on his side.
Appropriate here, like it looks like something brand new. The same goes for the body itself.
I'm meaning for
the
this to be the favorite now.
That combination of parts,
with extra
colors on it, brings something really new to the table.
Look at how beautiful that head paint is too. That's a beautiful.
From the very beginning of doing some of these parts that we've created over the past few years, like we've known we wanted to do a classic rogue type character, and it's been something that's been requested. It's just been a question of when do we fit it in, how do we fit it in, and the time was right, and this just like hits all the right notes for this type of character.
So obviously the soft goods and that collar are removable, so you can get it down to this look here. We've got the brown, basically fabric parts of the boots that were introduced on Marley, but presented here in those black leathers. We've got the rare view here of this character, but a thief is only as good as his heist crew. So we wanted to give this particular character some alternate looks so you can create a little crew. This is the first one, and this happens to be, I think, your favorite look.
What is that?
Character.
Yeah, I like this one a lot.
Is this a lizard man? Snake man? This is Snake man?
That's
what it is. It's cool.
Tabletop gaming, character creation type
stuff. That's what it is.
It is cool.
Yeah, I like the other one too, but I think with this one, with the inclusion of the hood, that sells the rogue element for a little bit more for me, just at least for the picture in my head of this. And I like that it's a hooded character, but in that green and more monstrous here. So yeah, I think the combination of everything comes together in a great way.
Great way. So this is the loadout you're going to get with this
Papa
character.
Smurf.
Literally all the daggers. All the daggers in Mythos apparently belong
I see
to
the
this
hood
character.
painted red.
You get 4 daggers, 2 of those short swords, a variety of hands, those little pouches, the keys.
Those are really cool.
This is so crazy, but little stuff like that makes me so happy to be able to add those little clip-on pouches and things.
Hey, Eric, what daggers you want to give them?
Really
all the daggers.
So much to these builds.
I love that as well. That's one of the things
Times 2
over the past few waves, especially we've been able to build up more of these little
I don't
accessories,
Papa
and
Smurf.
kind of
No, he has a red
character
hat.
builders. Like they really
You gotta paint the hood
it's just
red.
those little things like putting.
I don't paint my figures.
Those
Oh, you're right. You
pouches
don't
on
paint
the
your
belt.
figures.
I could start to tell a little bit more of a story about that character, and certainly the keys like really sells in. This
maybe it's an aged
type
fake
of a character.
Yeah.
So the more and more of that stuff that we create, it's just so much fun to add to these.
So there is a third head as well. This is the Shadow Elf head, and it's funny. So a few weeks ago, Noah Pratt, another one of the Mythic enablers we talked about Joe earlier, he sent me a message because they were doing this kind of adventure party where they were creating their own characters, and he did a rogue character that used very similar parts, and he said, I imagine you were going to do something like this, or you may down the road, or maybe it's already in the works. But he showed a very similar rogue type build, and I just kind of gave him a wink, and I was like, "Yeah, you may see that at some point." So I've unofficially named this particular character here Noah Shadowstring, which is a little bit of a nod to Noah's character. So
it's a big nod, and the unofficial names are the official names.
I mean,
that.
Talk about stats. So the bio for this character, Kacha, is of course a standard figure. He's going to come in at $37. A Jagualian thief who has had more than one stay in the cells of Castle Silverhorn. Kacha proved to be an unlikely hero in the Second Great War. Part of a team that ventured into the colds of the White Spine to rescue Queen Artemis Silvercord, the entire party was captured by a band of frost ogres. The Jagualian was the only one to escape, and he was forced to continue on alone towards his most daring heist ever, sneaking past the defenses of the bloodless throne and making off with the Queen of Xylernia. Leaving Artemis in the care of the Whisperlings, Kacha returned to the White Spine. If his team was still alive, he was determined to free them. So I love this little heist story that we're building here. Like, I want to see that heist story so badly.
This feels a lot like this wave feels like Rogue One.
Cool.
You love the characters.
Joe,
they're all dead.
What do we got on the Joe?
Yeah, this is the Rogue One wave. Good build. Good
Princess. Look at
That's
this.
a beautiful head, though.
It's very close to Snow Leopard.
Look at that.
If
it had the spots there,
true biological look of a cat so far. Maybe the third. Now that I think about it, because we had the Panther. We'll toss it on later, but yeah, he comes with this set of keys, ready to get in anywhere. Comes with the tail. Another use of these boots from Marley again.
Sweet boots.
Great to see that. And this cloak, I love these cloaks.
Oh, it goes all the way around.
Fully formed across the front. And one of my favorite features, dual wield, right? So every set of daggers, there's 2 of them. So you can have 2 there.
I love the new belts. The belt.
Very, very fun character to mess around with. And just take a second to pop on the other head here. There we go. So this is an orc. This is not a vampire orc. It is intended to be just an orc kind of beefier, but make it whatever you want. Love how the eyes kind of have a glow inside that hood.
What's your favorite head?
Right? But
Which one?
Lots of
I
possibilities
think it's
with
the blue
this.
one for me.
Really?
Lots of fun. Love the colors.
Maybe.
That might be.
Glad to have it sooner than later.
Billy, I interrupted you.
Excellent. Thank you, Joe.
I think the Jaguar head might be the favorite.
This
for me.
next one is another one that I feel like as
Go with
soon
the
as I
green one,
advance
for sure.
the slide,
I like the green one, too.
I'm
people
calling
are
it
gonna
a
have
snake.
an
It doesn't feel like
image
an
in
orc
their
to me.
head what they're about to get.
Here's number 7.
Another
Lucky
cool
number
set
have
7.
Noble Bear left
for Mythic
and
regions.
Celia and
Let's look at
Red.
the shadow.
Oh, okay.
So we've done one Centaur.
It's
in
it's about
Mythic region
time.
so far. A Furious from the Alithia wave, part of Xylona's flock. very
wonder
noble,
what head it's gonna
heroic
have.
character.
Yeah, that's
So
exactly.
for this one,
The head's gonna
thought
make it.
was to go the exact opposite, and let's go with something like that just
Helmet
screams
holds, I hope.
Did it
devious
use
and
the
evil.
horse parts from the
Black Horse.
logos?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Black
Black Horse.
So
Told you.
I really
Horse
like
Steven.
Look at that.
the
I like the
Centaur
stuff on him.
figure. I love Apherius, one of my favorites. And then I saw this character and I saw how this looks with the armor and all these pieces, and absolutely blown away. And this is a character that actually has some new pieces on it. So talk to us a little bit about what we're seeing that's new on this build.
Flogius armor.
I think the first thing everybody will notice is that it's a brand new head on
Let's see
this
that head. I want to
character.
see it.
I wonder if it's like that because it was
the look of the helmet on this actually kind of ties
the
into
little minis they
look
showed
of
off like
some of the
a
armor that
couple years
the
ago when they were
Shadow,
making them,
yeah.
and it had that
elves
helmet.
wear,
It was elven.
which
It
is
goes in the back.
You know,
I wonder if it has that
in there. And then one of the things that we, when we started putting this figure together, that hadn't initially struck us, but then as soon as we started putting it together,
very elfish. Yeah.
we saw it immediately. It would be really weird to put a saddle on a Centaur character. I don't know. It just kind of sets the wrong tone for the character.
Yeah, scapular gonna fit up there.
So we
this is my horse. I'm not your horse. Oh, you are my
new
horse.
armor piece that of course this would work on the horses as well.
You're not riding me. I'm carrying
but
you.
You smell. You're toxic.
If anybody who's familiar with in the Poxus wave, the way that we've done the rear armor on the horses, they need the saddle to attach to work with the figure, and so this armor piece works the same way as the saddle. It's kind of a stand-in, and so then the rear armor can connect to that, so that you can get the full look here. So again, unlike a Farius, we went with a heavily armored look on the horse here. Even some the blanket from the Rising Suns wave, we were able to sneak into this
blanket on the back.
and so it's just a cool remix of parts on this.
My brain immediately goes, that's too small of a blanket for him. How's he going to use that blanket?
Look.
And can he reach that blanket?
No, I mean the one under
the
the saddle.
bedroll. Oh no, yeah, you're right.
When you have
I guess I'm talking about. I see. I was talking about the bedroll.
To it, the way it catches the light when you.
I think Eric said that's
move it
I think
around.
He said it's
so
not
it's
a saddle,
a very
it's armor.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's just like, why does he have a bedroll?
Looking character, it's
that's like
lots
a
of
hair
nice,
towel for him.
Deep colors.
Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe he rolls it out, and that's where he kind of kneels down
with this
for
as well,
whatever reason.
Although there's a lot of similar notes that we hit here to the Shadow Elves, it's things are a little different. Like the skin tone is different on this. It's a more desaturated.
Yeah, I think it is.
No.
Blue
what
on
this?
It's
Green, right?
It's a grayish blue.
Gray.
A lot of people,
when they go to Joe Cam, we'll see it.
We're responding really well to it in the studio. I said that I would love to.
It's a shadow,
room
so
in my
blue,
house
right?
this color. Dan said he would like,
and it makes sense why he would have this
color. So,
we got an alternate head too.
That's right.
Yeah,
that
we
makes
got
sense.
So
that's cool.
This is not a named character. This is, a sub race. We're going to see from the bio in a moment. This is
talking about that's Barnog.
So you also get this
Barnog,
here,
Barnog,
which is a repaint of a figure
distant cousin of Tharnog.
The Tharnog head from the Poxus wave. That looks great on this build as well.
It really does. It's and just a
brother from another mother.
Completely
different horse mother
for the character.
Don't go there.
Like so evil. He's got black big teeth, tusks. So this is the build out that you get. This is the loadout, the armor, the weapons. The Centaur figure, the Shadow Centaur, is going to come in at $65. The bio is, while centaurs are somewhat common amongst the species of Mythos, their shadow cousins have long been nothing more than a horrific memory from the first age of the realm. As Poxus returns to Mythos, he opens the Nether Gate and allows a stampede of these nightmares to terrorize Mythos once again. As the deadliest hunters in the circle, Poxus sends his shadow centaurs to seek out and slay the leaders of the convocation. Breaking into the Tower of Basilia, the shadow centaurs hunt their prey, but a familiar-looking necromancer and the spirits of the scholars who once defended those halls of learning stand resolutely in their way. So this figure in this story is really part of this Ashes of Agbendor. As we're going to read in the story of Mythic Legions, this attack by the Circle of Poxus upon their return, they immediately target Ophidian. They immediately target, the Tower of Basilia and the Great Library of Agbendor. And that's what's part of this story. These shadow centaurs or hunters that are sent after the leaders of the convocation to end their time in Mythos. So we're getting a little bit of some sneak peek at some storyline elements that are going to be introduced actually in book 2 of the Mythic Legion story.
It's cool here because the Basilia has been somewhat of a mysterious element within the story so far, and all of a sudden to see all this focus on Ophidian and Basilia is a great foray into that world that we've just gotten a little taste of so far.
Yeah. Joe, what do you have to show us here?
So yeah, I just wanted to point out how we followed some of the same notes for our Shadow Elves with the Centaur. So this is a lightly armored character, and this is a more heavily armored character. So just to get a better shot of the saddle, or not saddle, but the back armor there, that's what we're looking at. As you can see, no stirrups, because don't want to make these guys angrier than they already are. And as far as flesh tones go, this is the difference. If you want to screenshot this,
it's very different.
So it's closer to like a grayish blue compared to this midnight blue that we've seen before. But man, that is striking. That's one nasty looking fellow. They're hunters. So they come with their bow and arrows, their quiver. Very imposing guys. So looking forward to this. Another reuse of the pauldrons from Gorgo Aether Blade 2. And another great use of the belt from Calazir. Just a great combination of parts here. And I just can't help but point out, we've had a tease of this character for a while. This is one of the miniatures that we designed for potential future projects. That has the same exact head there. There we go. Billy. So we've seen pieces of this before.
And no one will believe that I said this.
The scale it was meant to be.
2 tonight. That's why we brought him in, folks.
Very cool. Okay, so we are on reveal number 8, and this is another version 2 character that we're seeing in this
I don't know.
wave.
Maybe it's the necromancer.
I think some people in the chat.
He said this was going to go till like 8:30, and they're only at 8:08.
That we've established of these verses. We just mentioned that as the Shadow Centaurs invade the tower, looking for the leaders, a familiar-looking necromancer stands in their way.
Who's the necromancer?
I know that the only necromancer that I know in Mythos is
of course, because I finished mine.
So this is a character, very popular character, actually one of my favorites. That another perfect example of being able to go to a character that didn't maybe seem like a major character, but with how cool this is, I think Azra's got a very important role to play in this story.
Yeah.
This might be my favorite of Trevor's shots from this wave.
This looks a lot like my Azel Spirit Bender I finished.
Raising the spirits
I'm going to be right back.
Scholars from the convocation who are going to defend the tower and defend the library from the Circle of Poxus. Now, of course, he used your friend and mine, Blue Hagnon, in this, but with a skeleton head, so it doesn't look very Hagnon-y. This figure right here, this look in this figure is, to me, another great example of what we can do with a version 2 versus a straight reissue. Because when you look at this figure really reads as a spirit bender, but we've added some things to this character, to this figure that we didn't have available in
she had the
that
same
first wave,
tattoos.
in that Advent of Decay wave. Talk us through the build on this.
Impressive, Billy.
Good job, Billy.
Step back
Good
for a
job,
second.
Billy.
I gotta
Yeah.
go back.
Does this
to that
count as
cover
calling
photo
another
for a
thing?
second.
Yeah, it does. You
This
can have that.
This is amazing. Like this is poster
No one will
material. If there
believe this.
ever was poster material.
Yes.
Just so creative, and just the mood is so well captured. It's just awesome.
I love it.
All right. As far as the build, yeah, I mean this is just like what the potential for a 2.0 is. And there's on the one end of the spectrum, there's like the Atlas 2.0, which is a top to bottom like rebuild, but this is one where it's benefiting. This is like the fruits of our labor from making all of these new parts over the past few years, and like just going back and revisiting a figure and upgrading it. So can you turn her back around again?
Sure.
Just so I can. All right. Yeah. So like, I mean, even down to just back in when we first made this character, we had such a limited number of like magical staffs to choose from.
Yep.
Now she's got this really cool magical staff that plays into her, like the color of the character and the color of the magic effects. Yeah, I mean, this is so.
You
cool.
talk about the magic effects, just seeing
thought
that there,
it was on
seeing
the
her
feet.
with, I mean, over here we see the book hanging from the chain, seeing those magic effects on display. It's
cool.
amazing how transformed this figure actually
And the
is,
alt
while
head.
still very much being the spirit of Azra.
The alt head is awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at this figure, she uses the new 2.0 female build that we introduced with the Bastet. There's several new belt pieces on her. Now we've got the ability to use spell casting hands. Like it's was just not a thing back at that point. New upper torso. We weren't doing soft goods the way that we we're doing soft goods, and all these soft goods are based off of CJSM patterns. Some of these are based off of patterns that we've seen
interested.
before.
I know that
very
head.
familiar.
I use it for a lot of figures, and they have used multiple figures.
Cuts and styles.
But it
that
has
we've
a unique
seen
look to it
before.
anyway, with that picture.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And just like you look at this particular image, the soft goods bring so much life to the piece. The dynamics of having those magic effects, the ability to add an extra head in that gives her an unhooded look. And I mean, you look at that, and then again, going back to what you were saying, like with the keys, like the fact that we can give her a spell book. Like it's
cool.
Just such a cool little. It's more than just weapons.
Yes.
Like, and I think that's what just brings a lot of.
Look at the head there with the hood. It looks better there. It's like in one of the photos, the actual headpiece had been lowered down a little bit because it didn't look like she had any space between her chin.
Azra
And
was one of the most mysterious members.
it looks better here in this photo.
Where her race was listed as a question mark. It was unknown. Even in her original bio, it said that fellow members
the original,
of the
it's hard to
didn't
tell,
know much
like, if it's
about her. So expanding her
a different
story
head
in her
or not at
bio
this
was
point. I'm
another
like,
thing that I was super
I
excited
gotta see it up close
for this particular figure. And the figure, by the way, is a standard figure.
It's gotta be a different head. It's gotta be. It sits different. It looks like
we're
going
to reveal that her race.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's just in this
and
piece.
she is one of the oldest living warriors in Mythos.
I think it's.
Let's listen to the bio.
Spirit Bender's past was revealed during Poxus's attack on the Tower of Basilia. This mysterious shade necromancer was one of the otherworldly beings summoned from the Nethergate by Poxus during the First Age. After escaping a banishment, Azra sought help breaking free from the Dark Four. Complex spells were tattooed onto her skin, allowing her to gain her freedom. During Poxus's ambush, Azra called upon the spirits of those who had once roamed the halls of Ophidian, asking them to join the battle against her former master. Together, they helped chase the circle away and prevented the convocation from total destruction. So for the people that were worried that Ophidian is ash and everybody in it is ash, That is not true. The magic of Ophidian will absolutely have a role to play in the Second Great War, thanks in large part to a former member of the Circle of Poxus as a spirit bender.
Yeah, this one's
Cool.
really cool. And that's a like, I love when we can introduce like a mystery early on in the wave, or leave a loose end and then come back and expand upon that later. And it's such a cool story with her that I don't know. I really like the payoff here.
I do as well. Joe, what do you got for us?
So I just wanted to do a quick comparison of the original version of Azra here with the new one.
Yeah, show me a head.
So as you can see, yes, of course, the cape now is amazing. We have magic projections. You may notice that's the same magic projection that comes from Thrace. Maybe they're performing the same exact spell, but with different purpose.
I think that's a new head.
We have a new staff there. This also includes
it's a new head
and new arms from Bast. Like we said, we're reusing the new female builder parts for this. And what really stands out to me is the alternate look. Again, more use of the magical effects there.
So she got those set upper arms.
An update version of her sword. A dagger and sheath. Another set of hands, but wow. She's amazing.
Might be the most clever
Thank
use
you,
of
Joe. And
parts.
Eric, that's going to bring
parts,
us to the final reveal of the night. So the final reveal of the night is actually a character that's been with us this whole time. So right at the start of tonight, we talked about the new Master of Records at the Library of Agbendor.
Oh, it's
the Convocation is a faction that has been, less characters in it. They're mysterious. They're smaller numbers. But in this particular wave, we're going to get 2 members of the Convocation of Basilia. You heard the name at the start of the show. Shoue is how you say this. Almost got through it. But this is the character that is at the center of this story. This is the wizard who is returned to the library to record these particular stories. Eric, this is another figure with some new parts and a new look, both a new head and some new soft goods. Talk us through this particular character here, who we teased, by the way, in the post we did yesterday. We showed kind of that little staff area there, nice artful crop so you couldn't see the character, but this is the full reveal.
Yeah, this one is like we wanted to, we did very traditional wizard robes with Samir and Arazak, and I think filled what we were looking to, like a certain, I guess, like archetype that we wanted to hit with the wizards. And then this one, we wanted to go with a different, like a little bit more of a different look, almost like this is almost like a traveler type wizard. And so we wanted to really come up with a build that was very different from the other two, not only in the soft goods, but also the build itself. So this figure is built on basically all new 2.0 parts that we saw for the first time in the Rising Suns reveals. So he's got the leather boots, the leather gauntlets, the full fabric sleeves and pants, and then he's got this soft goods set that CJ did that is just absolutely amazing. Like it's just one of these ones that there's an idea in mind, and when it comes back, it's so much better than I would have even expected. I can't remember.
A
Is there a
combination of
hood up
cloth with
version?
arms
There is
and the
not.
hood.
There is not.
So that's
Yeah,
something.
I
That's
why
something.
we're all
Eventually,
being
we'll have to
quiet
get a
because
shot up.
there's
of
so much to
the
take
hood
in with this.
up.
Yeah,
Like, I
that's
need to dissect
exactly-
it more to see
The
what's
hood
going on
it
with this guy.
that's on this robe.
Yeah,
is
it's a lot of
just,
layers.
It's got such a fantastic look because it's
Yeah.
a very
Like, what's that hood?
very loose fitting hood, but it
It's
kind of comes down.
Totally new
you know,
head.
the sides are like the lapels on it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, on top of the wonderful soft goods and the, you know, kind of newer body build on it, he's, you know, being kind of a recorder of records and
Mhm.
things like that. He's got the books
and
and scrolls and, you know, the pouch or a satchel full of, you know, writings and things like that, which again is where we're able to, you know, rely on these pieces that we've introduced to the line that you know, they fit this character
Mhm.
perfectly. And they just, with the soft goods, we always like this element where we're layering the sculpted parts with soft goods with more sculpted parts on top of it, where they you know, really seamlessly work together.
Ooh,
I
what
forgot.
is
What?
this?
Yeah,
Forgot
forgot about the
alternate look.
So we've got the alternate look.
Wow.
Some like spectral magic type parts here. Both that head, the magic
Clear
effect,
hands.
and
Clear
the
hands.
Yeah.
Clear
this
hands, yeah.
This was when we, you know, when we look back at what we did with the Poxus wave,
Ghost Wizard.
Arazak had the red eyes,
Mhm.
you know, it's kind of like his powered up version. And Samir and Zende both had kind of like the runes going on and the eyes, you know, changed to represent that more powered up look. And so we wanted to do something similar with this character, but at the same time do something that was very different from what we did with the others. And this ended up turning out really well. Like it really sells the power up mode for him.
So you actually get 5 sets of hands, 2 in the spectral kind of look, 3 sets in the normal look. Obviously, the 2 heads, the 2 necks,
So cool.
those spell books, everything that you just mentioned. Lots of cool accessories, the scrolls to really build this character out. And again, we talked about this character being the master of records. He is a standard figure, even with all those soft
That's a
goods
lot
and
of stuff
everything.
for $37.
His
It really
bio is a member of the learned. Shoue was once a master at the Great Library of Agbendor. When the Circle of Poxus attacked the Tower of Basilia and burned the library to the ground, Shoue was one of the scholars who risked his life trying to protect the knowledge contained in that ancient collection. Having survived Poxus's attack in the subsequent battles of the Second Great War, Shoue was named the library's new master of records. Returning to Ophidian to help rebuild the library, he combs through the ashes of Agbendor, searching for tales of the past, while also beginning to record the stories of this modern age of the realm of mythos.
How old is this wizard?
So before we talk about the all-in
Like,
price
he's
and we talk
45
about
or something,
the pre-order
really old.
length and all that, let's
He's
go.
like, I made
one
it to a
final
ripe
time.
old age
We're
of
gonna go over
37,
to
and you'd be
Mr.
lucky
Joe.
to reach
Joe,
that
Let's see.
boy.
I want
what
to
do
see
you got to
some.
show us here? Oh, it looks
see
like we've
with
got
the
that
hood
hood
up.
that
Yeah.
Eric was asking about.
Yes, so this has a really good
He looks so
range.
kind.
Get
That's the
pretty
You know
low
what?
kind.
Yeah.
That's about as low
man.
as it'll go. Very mysterious, right?
Mhm.
And you can
It's
set
the
it
kindest
back
wizard we have.
right there. Again, everything's wired and
Yeah,
looking
man.
good. He's got his 3 favorite books.
That's the
and spells
Gandalf
at the
of this
ready.
world when it comes to.
Lots of soft goods. We have the
What's
hood,
going on the front? What is?
the coat, and
Is that-
the
What am I
skirt,
seeing?
but without.
Is that,
Here's
that
the
might be
build
the same.
underneath.
There we go.
There we go.
So again, another awesome look
Real
from this
cool.
guy without the
That's a
soft goods
beautiful
with the
armor
powered up
2.0.
pieces on there.
Is that the one with the
Alternate
oh
hands,
god, it was the
magic
rising
That's
sun
that's
scorpion thingy?
Yeah, a very,
Yeah.
very awesome addition to the line.
even
here.
you look excited.
Awesome.
That's
One
It's just
second,
all the
Joe.
new 2.0 parts
That's
with the
a-
pants and I really do like the
Close
powered
to
up
this.
translucent
There
thing
we
they
go.
did. I think that's really cool.
Okay, so
That's a cool.
And
with
I'm not a
that,
super
that
big fan of
is the
translucent stuff.
Ashes of Agbendor wave. So this wave is
9
going to
figures?
be essentially it's 10 figures,
Oh, it's
but
10.
it's
Can't count.
9 like actual pieces, nine products basically, because we get that 2-pack. The all-in price is going to be $420, which if you've bought from us in the past, you probably know that we tend to take the price of everything combined and basically give you a free figure. So this is that price, getting the all-in is like getting one of these figures free from the lowered price of them all being individual. But ultimately, what you're going to get, Eric, like I said, 10 total figures, 3 standard figures, that deluxe builder set that we started the show with. It seems like so long ago that we were talking about the Blue Shield. Yeah, it's like forever ago.
Almost an hour and 29 minutes and 27 seconds.
Set of the 2 goblins. You get the 2 deluxe figures, which are the angel and the gold skeleton. You of course get the ogre and you get the centaur. $420 for everything we get there. Seeing this picture, I love the variety. We said this at the top of the show. The variety in this wave, I think this really shows that variety.
It absolutely does. Yeah. I mean, we've got characters from multiple factions. We've got character types that we haven't seen in years. As we said, like it goes back to some of those early waves like Covenant of Shadow that just brings these characters together from all different places in mythos, plops them into one narrative, and from just an action figure lineup standpoint, it gives us a variety of colors and sizes and shapes that just aesthetically is a great great combination.
So the pre-order for this wave, again, it begins in just a few minutes, actually, at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time at storehorseman.com. This wave is going to be available. All of these figures can be purchased separately. Again, we talked about that $420 all in. Also, what we have is the pre-order period. So it's going to run for basically 1 month. June 30th at 11
Blue Shield Soldier.
Eastern
It looks a
time.
lot like
That is when the direct pre-order at
Tila,
Store
right?
Horseman ends. So you've basically got 1
It's
month.
like they have a
to
sterner
place
look.
your pre-order for this
It is
wave.
his soldiers.
And our anticipated delivery of this
They're all
wave
very
is
stern
quarter
over
two
there.
next year.
When
So
I first saw it, I
as we
thought
said, this is all existing
it was
tooling.
Attila's face
Even
at
the
first.
brand new parts or pieces that are already tooled or in the tooling process
I thought the
right
same
now.
thing, Steve.
So our goal
I don't know
for
how they
this
stuck
is
it in there.
about a 12-month or less point from the end of the order period to delivery next year.
Yeah, that's certainly try to set it up to where we can get some quicker waves into the mix. And this one, it's just a lot of planning to make something like that happen. And that's what we did here. So we're excited.
We are very excited. So we are so excited that we are going to bring a couple of our friends back on stage. Jim, we've got Jim back here. Cornplay. There we go.
Wait, what?
Cornplay, I know. Look at him down there on vacation.
Yeah,
I had to move
that's
outside.
an awesome look.
The Wi-Fi was awful.
Guys,
And it's
judging
noisy
by
out here. The AC just kicked in.
well, judging by the reaction in the chat, it seems like people are very excited for the Ashes of Agbendor wave. A lot of variety, a lot of, little something for everyone, a lot of different races and factions represented. I'm excited, guys. And as always, we always say that, these waves are produced based on your support, based on your pre-orders. So we cannot say thank you enough for that support, for going to storehorseman.com in the next couple weeks to place your order for Ashes of Agbendor. Guys, anything you want to say as we say goodbye to everyone?
Yeah, they should be excited. The number of figures that are represented there and the price, it's amazing. Amazing, fantastic price for the all-in.
I'm blown away, because I see it every day. Like I'm walking past this stuff, so I've seen everything, but I never see it presented in such a way like this. And then having the Joe Cam is just another level. Which is,
I love that too.
They can't hear here.
Voice, the lilting deep voice of Joe.
It's fantastic. It really is. So yeah, everybody
Okay, that was Jim's mic. So Jim's mic went a little haywire there. Jim, I put you on.
He cut him off.
Okay.
Oh boy.
I don't
Cut
know
off
what's
Jim.
going on. You should be happy you can't hear the audio right now because something just went crazy. It sounded like a hurricane. That might be the attack on Ophidian. I think we just heard the attack on Ophidian, everybody. So with that, we are going to say goodnight. It is 8:29. We're going to let you go so you can get over to storehorseman.com. You can get those orders placed. Once again, thank you everybody for joining us tonight. Eric, anything you want to leave them with?
As always, thank you so much for all of the support. We've in our 10th year with this line, and everything's going continuing to go strong. So we're just so grateful and fortunate that we can keep making this stuff and trying to bring you guys the best that we possibly can. So thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good rest of your night. As I said, check out those recap shows. Thank you to everyone for your support.
Hi, Mom.
Thank you, everyone. Mythic Legions, Ashes of Agbendor.
Where's Cornboy going to walk off with the camera with?
I don't know what's going on.
So wow.
Yeah. Well, that was everything I didn't expect. I didn't see any of that coming. I mean, I'm not Billy Beige, so I guess I don't see it coming. But I didn't know what to expect, but all of that stuff is really cool. I don't know what my favorite is, but I'm kind of overwhelmed. I don't know. How do you guys feel, Emil?
Yeah, I think it's pretty hard to pick a favorite, but I mean, you can always change your mind, right? So I think maybe the last one, the
blue one,
yeah,
The blue one.
or the assassin or Azra.
You forgot the Swedish knight.
Oh, and the Swedish knight.
There's a lot.
Honestly, I really have to go back and study these. We'll have to talk about this more later. I don't know.
Billy, what's your thoughts?
I think the strong front runner for me is going to be that Goblin 2-pack with all just the extra parts and everything. Because as much as I love the Dwarf 2-pack from Rising Suns, like the Goblin one, just like all those new parts too, is just matches up. I love that. I really wasn't expecting to be like, I love the gold skeleton now, but I love the gold skeleton now. Before today, I thought that thing was not trash, but it was definitely like D tier. It wasn't up there. Now it's like, oof. I wasn't expecting anything else from like Necronominus in this wave. Because I mean, like that's another thing you'd tick over to that side.
Nobody really excuse me. Nobody really knew what this wave was going to be. So that is, excuse me, I'm having a hard time. It's hard to have expectations when we have no idea what we're getting. But it's also kind of fun to see what we get when it's a thing like this. Len, thoughts? Are you just pumped about your purple and green bones or parts, or is there more to it for you than that?
Oh, I think there's more to it. I'm trying to bring up pictures right now, if you didn't notice, so we can kind of review what we might have forgotten from the beginning. Man, there's a lot. I love the builders because I've always loved the builders. The builder stuff is great.
Yeah.
Which one?
Because those slimmer knight bodies, I really feel that they need the soft goods on top.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Look at that. I mean, that's fabulous. That's a lot of things going on there.
Yes, and it's just
interesting to see a 2.0 piece down in the middle there. If that is,
which
the blue loin piece.
Yeah.
That's interesting to see that being
Where's-
added here.
That's a good eye. Good catch. Yeah.
There's so many pieces now. It's like I would love to see like a unique part count for the whole line, like how many unique parts there are.
Ask Joe. I'm sure Joe knows. Look at that helmet. Look how cool
That thing is cool.
It's got like a
Yeah.
cool jewel right in the center. I don't know if you guys can see it, like on the pull up. I can't really embiggen it.
That's
but
what we're
it's,
getting with the Templars, with Elia.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. You see that? Look at that. That's cool.
I love the blue and yellow.
Beautiful.
Oh, you know what? I already kind of want that helmet repainted dark, and then like an eye of Sauron right there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Let me
It's a great value. Tell you
Yeah.
yeah, let me bring up these guys.
Kind of want to paint
These
those
guys.
feathers too. Oh yeah.
Look at that.
So, okay, we should not. I mean, we maybe don't talk about the customizing part, but I was actually looking at making turtles tributes out of goblins. But now you see these bare arms. It's like probably might wait because those would be awesome.
Yes.
Got a honker on that guy.
I love it.
It's great.
I love
and
both of
everyone
those
take
heads.
note that it has that, like it's a little dark. So when we
Yeah.
get them, no one thinks that it's a paint defect. Right?
It's a Torgan.
It's a Torgan.
I like Torgans
That's
very
scary.
much.
That bigger goblin face.
Because I can't remember
Wonderful.
which
Love it.
version of orcs
like-
had where they were like, oh, they were more pig-like, but that kind of reminds me of that there too a little bit. Even though it's goblins, like, oh yeah.
That reminds me of Willow in the end when Mad Mardigan get transformed into a pig.
Yes.
Yes.
I see this getting
that's a scary
repaints,
scene.
right? People painting this flesh. That's cool. And that's the
So the feet. Question then for the right one, they are they were made for the dwarf build, right? They're not.
I believe
Yeah.
so, yeah.
And to the left, we also have new feet since the Rising Sun at least.
Yeah,
Those
all
feet.
all those
Yeah.
parts are still so new. It's just like it's surprising us to see them every time now. You're not familiar with them yet.
No.
Oh, look,
they
he's
haven't
got
had
like
to-
that tribal paint thing going on. There. See that?
Get this
Like the white.
like coked out
Just
face.
like
Coked out face.
maybe menacing these goblins.
Yeah. And these are the ones that they were trapped and then they built Gob Hollow.
Yeah, they're
So
like,
that
we
shield
can't get
can
out. Might as well just
quickly-
live here.
So to the left there, to the left,
To the left. Here.
that purple piece. We
Yeah.
didn't see that in any of the pictures, right? Did we?
I
Because
think on the Joe cam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have to go back and look at that. Where is that from? Oh, that's also from the Sapar. This,
Oh,
The spar,
the
yeah.
Sapar.
yeah, we are all pronouncing it wrong, I think, but we're doing it confident, so that's good.
I like notice the neck peg. It's giving you the jointed neck peg.
So you can really get him forward.
Yeah, and that has to be an extra because there's one on him right now, right? So they must be giving you both.
It's
wonder-
interesting that they use the old armor parts for the arms for him, but I guess because they're bulkier, so that makes him,
Yeah.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're getting two neck pegs on this too, right? Well, is the swig head is that head? I don't know. Why are we getting two neck pegs on that?
Oh, because like that would be the uncovered one has where it's like an actual 2.0 neck and 2.0 head, and maybe that one has where it's like a 1.0 kind of like
Hybrid.
the 2.0
Yeah.
body to 1.0 head, because I know the swig one's like that. So maybe
That's
he's
what I thought too. Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
giving you all the options.
like I need at least two of this set.
Yeah, and see, here's the feet. So here's the purple feet, purple belt
They're
to go
very
with that other
similar
purple
to-
set. So you can do like a big purple build with it, right? Is what I'm kind of saying.
You can almost have like a gang of purple.
It's true. Very wholesome.
Very.
And then-
Gang.
You can have a gang of the gang.
Right?
The gang.
There's if you literally look at it, there's almost a specific build going on with that because you have the purple in the belt here,
Yeah.
and then you have the purple feet,
Uh-huh.
and then you have the. Where else did I see purple? Wasn't there somewhere else? I guess
You're making
this purple belt here.
Oh.
It'd be
You're
great if
saying
there's
Silver belt.
random
hidden
purple
purple
pieces
parts in there?
through the whole wave that you put together to build a figure. Only on color scheme alone.
You seriously, there's a lot of that's a lot of it throughout.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me go to the next one. Who's?
It's a purple conspiracy.
Come on, look at this.
You got a purple shield. You got your purple
He's got purple soft
cloak
goods.
thing. Purple soft goods. There we go.
It's the angels. They have purple.
Yeah.
Or
The angels
this
are
way,
purple.
Now they're two purples.
That's
Wholesome.
cool. That's a nice reuse of the Bashadi head. That's what I call it anyway.
Yeah, that's as one does.
Yes.
Mhm.
That is not Bishadi the Alpha. That is Bishadi the Pure,
Oh,
Ooh.
That
who does not exist.
the real Steve.
I mean, moving on, please, folks.
All right, moving on. Beautiful wings. That's a great
I
shot
love that.
by Trevor.
Mhm.
That's
Great
cool.
job.
Sometimes Trevor gets lucky.
That's for sure. Look at that. That's nice. All right. And then here's your winner.
Yeah.
Come
So
on,
is this your
cool.
favorite there, Len?
I don't know. I don't know. I really like that goblin set. I think that goblin set is like my off the bat one where I'm like, wow, like there's a lot going on. This is cool because I mean, it's like I said, it's accessories for a scaphoid, but it's that goblin set's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they don't show them with that helmet down, do they?
Don't think so.
Oh.
Not at all. Huh. There's no accessory or product shot on this one here
Darn
that
it.
they posted anyway, so I don't see it. More purple soft goods.
Yep. This gold skeleton, the build on it, it's excellent. It really is.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
It's definitely one that, like, if I see it at a show, I'll be like, oh, I could use another gold skeleton.
And here you have the frost troll feeling to the red eye and the darkness around his lips, the dark reddish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really like this thing.
I do want to see like them do like when they do their pop and swap of this wave, or if they do that next week on Mythic Conversations with Joe, have him by the ice troll. I want to see him by the ice troll, and I want to see him right by that shadow centaur too.
Yeah, I think this is a more like a frosty blue though. That shadow centaur is more like a slate blue.
Yeah.
Even he has the purple tips on the horns here. If you notice, he has purple,
That shadow centaur was more. It
It's
looked
like
more
conspiracy,
gray
man.
than blue to me.
Yeah, like a slate blue, like a slate. That's cool. Beautiful paint and details. Does he only come with one pauldron?
He has where he came with the second pauldron and also a second belt.
Okay. That's what I thought. I mean, it would make sense just to have one.
I mean, like at first I was like, okay, it's just going to come with one. And then they showed all the extra accessories. I was like, whoa, wasn't expecting that.
Oh, I forgot this guy. This might be my favorite. This guy's cool.
Yeah.
This is my favorite. No, wait, this is my favorite. Like, he is really cool.
Now, Steven, from a painter's aspect, that's a beautiful head, right? I mean,
Oh yes, from painting sideways, painting. Yes, it's awesome.
like that's the evolution of like Balam. You know, like that's like this is like next level. Like it looks like soft fur. Like I want to pet this. I want to pet his head. Right.
It's amazing. I've never from the beginning
like,
of the line been
Go
a
up to
huge
him.
fan of the Jaguarlians. But I mean, it's beautiful. I wish they would give us another head. I wish they'd give us an expressive cat, mouth opening, roaring
Yes.
head. To
Yeah.
you know, if they're gonna
Fangs
keep.
bared.
Yeah, I mean, how many figures do we have now with the cat head? And there's no variations.
And I bet this. I can't remember. No. I don't know when they started doing digital sculpting, and then they had where they kind of like started mixing things together some. But I don't. I mean, they should be able to mess with this one, get it same style, and then have the mouth open.
Oh yeah,
and not
I
be
mean,
too crazy different.
Well, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't have to be the same. It doesn't even have to. I mean, every cat can be different, so it doesn't even. It can be a little bit different. Different character, you know. Every orc doesn't have the same head.
Yeah, like this one is an orc somehow.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not.
Well, they
I
said
sound like
it's
I'm
not.
being too negative, but
No, I get what you're saying, Steve. But
Yeah.
you know what? Maybe they'll do a heads pack, and we'll get that. You know, like we got the vampire head that had like screaming or expression. You know, I mean, I think that's something that they're experimenting more so now with the expression faces. You know, because I think the feeling was always like it's very static, like single moment in time. You know, and this is more of like the stoic faces. So I think it's definitely something they're moving towards, like working in more.
Worth repeating. I'm saying it again. I've been wishing it for years. Black cape.
There you go.
Black matte cape, not shiny. Black cape. This kind of, it looks like it's the same kind of cape as with Duban, but black. And that's that's one of the best capes.
And you didn't have to like writ dye them.
Yeah.
But I will say this about this figure: you can put any head on this figure almost, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
Agree.
I mean,
Yeah. So
you can pick up a 3D printed head from a company and painted by somebody and throw it on there. You can pop and swap all Mythic
You don't even
Legions
have
heads.
to paint match. Don't worry about your paint matching. Throw that out.
Not
the door.
really, because he doesn't have skin anywhere. You just
No.
throw like this one right here. You can almost do anything.
Yeah, you can put Arakagor's head on it. It's kind of.
I mean, like if you have the right adapter or enough blue tack, yeah.
If you can't
No,
do
but
it,
you're right, Steven. It's real.
yeah.
I want to do that now. It's gonna be like, oh, his head's so big and his body's so small.
He's cool.
This
Yeah,
is
he's a
something
very
that-
cool universal figure, I think. He's going to launch a lot of customs.
Yeah, he might be the one that's gonna be like, oh, someone picks him up because he's so just innocuous. And be like, oh, he can do all the things. Maybe he'll be like the Valiant Knight of this wave, where it's like, oh, it brings people in.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say, there are some figures that you like more and some that you like less, and I would say that the Centaur is slightly to the down. If we don't have to rank, but it's not one of my favorites. I love the way they made the armor for it, and it looks badass. But looking at that one we just saw before, it's like that triggers something else within me.
So if you had to pick one, you would pick the Thief over the Centaur.
Yes.
I kind of feel that way too. Like I hate to pick on an older figure, but like I definitely like this one more than a Farius.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this, I'd take this one over him. But I don't know. It's like this one will take up a lot of shelf space, but he does look cool.
Yes.
If I had to pick one, I would get rid of Farius and keep this one.
What are those straps under his pauldrons? I like the way that they fit.
Yeah, I didn't notice that.
The ordinary straps.
I don't know what they are. They look like they really look like they function to keep his pauldrons on. To me,
Yeah.
It's definitely a new belt.
If
Yeah.
it's the belts, it's a big stretch because that's a brute body, right? So it's stretching more than you could stretch the old traditional belts to do.
Because it looks like it has like a little buckle on the right side it's showing, so it's definitely new belt. Yeah.
It's a clasp.
Are they overlapping back there? Yeah, let's get that zoom in. Yeah.
I really like the way they fit.
Is it a new belt?
I agree, Steve. Good eye.
Yeah. That's definitely something I could do on a brute scale now. Yeah.
It's interesting to put Gorgo's pauldrons on it.
It works. That's
They
the
are
thing
so-
with the brute scale. I think a lot of like the accessories still work,
Yeah.
with them.
Mhm. A lot of those older, large-looking shoulders, like shoulder armor, work on them perfectly.
Yeah.
I like the use of Flogius's armor again, which is it's a really cool armor, so it's nice to see it.
And that loin piece, is that from not the loin piece, but the middle piece, the not saddle piece below it? Is that from? Is that a whole piece, you think, or is that something from the Rising Sun?
I think the purple kind of frilly part right there is from the Rising Sun for the
Yeah.
the unicorn, I think.
It's
Yeah,
just the
they said
non-saddle
that, yeah.
saddle thing on top.
Yeah.
Just imagine how pissed he will be when someone tries to. Yeah, I'm just gonna ride this horse, and he's like, "That's not a saddle," and he kicks him off, and this is gonna be very angry.
Get off of me.
Get off me.
I just see where someone like jumps on his back. He's like, I'm just perturbed, and it's like they stab at him. Not my back.
And
This is one of
just
the favorites.
beautiful. Yeah, this is beautiful. Like, I mean, it just because it still carries over the traditional look of the original one. It's not like a total revamp. It pays homage to the original really well to me. I like it. I don't have much to say about it because I like it so much. It's just like saying, hey, here's the original. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's make the new one even more awesome, but not throw out all the cool stuff about the original one.
I do like the new, like where they have the soft goods on there. I like the overlay belt on it. It looks like it's not the same waist overlay they had on the old one, because the old one had where it went down further. I never would have thought to use the smoke like ring things to put on her legs.
I did that with Swig when I got him because I made him like levitate, like he was higher. That's cool. That's the face is beautiful too. I mean, that's like Emma, like you said, you've used it many times before, and it looks different every time you treat it a different way, and it's gorgeous.
Yeah, honest reaction when when it first popped up, I was like, "No, are they using the same head again?" Because I like it, so it's precious. Like you don't want it to get overused.
Mhm.
But honestly, like we've already said, it does not feel overused. It really feels like this. It's a smart move.
Yeah, and every time they've used it, they've been able to do that because, like, see, it's in Cosmic at least one time.
Yeah.
And then we got like two, I think two uses out
No,
of
three
Mythic
in
before
this one, right?
Yeah, because thrice this one, I feel like it's also for in the Necronominus for who is it? Maybe it's for the daughter of Necronominus.
Beluelith?
Maybe it's
No.
it's a different one for Beluelith. Oh, she has the swoopy hair one.
Her hair it's awesome. I'm looking forward to that. Getting Beluelith.
You know what I'm wondering is, so this cape has no hood, or does it?
No.
Well, in this picture, there's a lot of bulk up here.
Yeah.
So
Does it show her? Maybe it's folded in.
you can do that. I mean, I've done it before, messing around. Like you can fold those capes in with the hoods. I mean, it would be nice to have the hood to use if you need it, but sometimes it's too much bulk. So I wonder. I don't know.
Yeah, because
I love that they gave her a cape, because to me, like, it's kind of weird to have a hood with no cape. And I'm sure back in the day they realized that, but they weren't going to use like, plastic or something, and they just didn't have maybe the resources at the time to do the soft goods of something like that dramatic.
that detailed, because her originally she just had that like regular flat 4-hole cape.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm still a fan of the plastic hoods.
I am too. I do like
Absolutely.
the plastic
I prefer that when it comes to the hoods.
Yeah.
I'd rather just get like an alternate head with it without a hood, instead of having because like the hoods work. Like for him, the hood definitely works for him.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
the hoods work really well with the bald heads, because then you're not. That's why a lot of those wizards, I think, in Poxes were bald, because those hoods work well with them.
Knowledge balds you.
Those are nice.
There's
Those
something about the
eyes are
kindness in his look that resembles Eric's.
It's the eyes. Look
You
at his
know
eyes.
what?
Really.
Yeah.
And the eyes and slightly a bit of the mustache here. It's like, you're
Nose.
wise, you're kind, and it's like, I trust you. I trust you with whatever you decide to do. You know?
Yeah.
You know what?
You think
yeah,
this is
I see
someone?
it.
This looks like someone. Who does this look like? Huh.
I stick to Master Treadaway.
Yeah,
You're
you know,
right.
if it-
Amal. His facial features remind me of someone that I know. Like, but I can't place it. I can't
Right.
put my.
it feels like right there. Right there. Put a little more dark gray into the beard.
Yeah. Yeah. Also one of the favorites. Oh,
Yeah, and we're not getting the the look of him without the soft goods. But when they showed that on the Joe cam, that was awesome. Like he looked really cool without the soft goods.
Yeah.
With that blue, all that blue, and the new Armored 2.0, it's cool.
oh, Steven, you're muted.
Oh, I was wondering why we haven't heard from him. I was like, is Steve all right?
It was really silent.
I am so excited for those boots.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Those are the boots I've wanted from day one. I mean,
Yes.
not the 2.0 and the 1.0 ones. You know, the swashbuckling boots, man. I love them.
Mm-hmm.
Captain America boots.
Yes.
Paint
Well,
him white
well,
and
well-
put him on the Punisher.
Could do that too.
Oh no, paint him white and put him on. No, you can't because these are. Or you put him on Skullman.
Yeah.
Steve would get that. I don't know if anyone else will.
Sorry.
And
Sorry.
I think I've already said it, but I really think the powered up translucent thing is so creative.
I do too. It's
Mhm.
cool.
It's really cool. They're putting more translucent stuff in the line. Like instead of just being like Hagnon was the only translucent thing that ever existed for the longest time, and then it's like, oh, we're getting ghouls, we're getting this, and it's just
Are these the first translucent 2.0 parts? I think it could be.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Those
I
hands.
think yeah.
That's cool.
Very
This is-
cool.
You know, I'm turning invisible.
That's it. And we have a what was it? A $421 all in.
Yeah.
Which like I was doing the math the whole if you guys saw me when I was writing as we were doing it, and I was taking notes of all of it, and I added it up at the end and came to 451, and I was like, ooh, 451. What are we going to end up with? And 421 is pretty good. It's like getting a figure for free.
Mm-hmm.
So
You know, I would be fine with 420, but 421.
do you think they changed that on purpose? Do you think they were like, we can't do 420?
No. Big Greg was like, guys, we can't do 421. Come on, man. Come on. We got to represent the Mythic Tokers.
Mythic Tokers.
Oh,
And they're all up.
okay.
Everyone, you can read their bios on sourcehorseman.com. And if you can go to Mythic Legions and look at the waves, and you'll get the full descriptions here and all the pictures, everything you want to see. And let's see, the order itself is live right now on storehorseman.com is where you want to go to find that.
Where's that all in there?
Yeah.
View card.
Pretty cool wave. I got to let it sink in still.
yeah.
You know,
Let's discuss this more. Another day.
another day. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I think there's going to be a lot of discussing going on with this, right?
Yeah. Totally unexpected stuff. Curveballs. But all pretty darn cool. And the sum of the parts that we're getting is just amazing for future customization and pop and swapping and all that.
Yeah. I challenge a caballer to do a parts count on this. Give us a parts count on this wave and tell us what we're getting, because man, I bet you it's at an all-time high for this many figures.
Oh, definitely.
And it's at storehorseman.com or storehorseman.myshopify.com. and you can go right there and do the pre-orders. The all-in is $420. We don't know if they're going to still do that $9.99 flat rate shipping, but I believe it's gone really well, so I think they might.
I'm at the shipping portion on there. I know some people had issues. They had issues with like I think it was FedEx handing off the USPS, so they really the USPS, but some issues there. But it offers FedEx and USPS, and Smart Post is the lowest on there for me at least for $27.44. Ground home deliveries $28.45. USPS is $50.50 for me. And then priority mail $79.25. Those are the 4 options that I have on mine.
Okay, and that that could change based on where you are or whatnot. I'm kind of not surprised they're not doing the $9.99 on this, because I think that was for very specific like shipping, like where they know they're going to ship, like the majority of people are going to order like one figure obscura, so that they know what what I mean. But this is like, there's a big variation of like what people could be ordering with this. So,
but that was will all be in the future, right? I mean, what Four Horsemen actually pays for the shipping to the shipping company. Maybe they don't do that now. So if they take $9.99 and the shipping charges, I don't know, stuff like that. But
yeah, no, you're right, because I think there's too many variables with this many options.
Yeah,
this many options and next year.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. Well, that's always the risk, right? I mean, with anything, you're always.
But I mean, with the figure obscura, they had them in hand.
Yes.
It was it's here. They're ready to go.
Yeah.
It's happening now.
Here, just picking out the 2 goblin set. Lowest is $13.08 USPS.
Oh, and that's good. I mean, you're a good chunk. You're a good mileage from New Jersey and Mississippi, right? So that's normal. They're not killing anyone on the shipping. They're charging what it is.
No, not even for the all-in. It's not bad. I feel like it's been higher in the past for the all-in.
Very cool.
Did they say that the goblins were were new parts, or that they're using the Greyborn parts?
I believe Eric said new parts.
Yeah, I heard him say new.
Yeah,
because it's definitely a new thigh for it.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Steve, you ready?
Everybody? Yeah. Well, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Thank you for joining us, Billy. Sorry I got here late, but you're always fun to have around. I have to say that because I'm being nice.
Please continue to be nice to Billy.
You are nice. Come on, you are nice.
All right, everybody. See you later.
Bye.